Hello, hello. It's nearly Christmas. Let's have a bit of a laugh, shall we?
Well, Mikey Smith is gonna sue the CSA, but the angels of shy just getting his way. While Double J says ascertain, I think the Witsit has gone missing again, and the earth is flat, and that's that. And old Dick Wayne, he knows where the top of the ball is, and he swears the blue, blue sky is his, while Chewie saves up to buy a ceiling. The angel of shot will kiss the ass of anyone who's willing, and the earth is flat, and that's that. Yeah, the earth is flat, and that's that. And Twedzord is cry-wanking and crowdfunding for a new car, and Vicar is still a bitch, and you know they don't make them like they used to. And the earth is flat, and that's that. Yeah, the earth is flat, and that's that. Yeah, the earth is flat, and that's that.
And now, from the mean streets of Essex, England, this is Whatcast.
Love that. Hello, everybody. This is Matt. This is Whatcast. So today, then, I'm going to be doing. I've got a couple of debates here that I've found that I've watched a bit of, and it gave me an idea because both of these debates, I don't know when they're from, but both of them were definitely, probably, the worst performance by any flat earther in any debate I've ever seen. Right. So I'm going to show them today, or I'll try and get through one of them at least in a minute, because I've got to do something first and tell you about something that might be happening. But if you think you've got a better, should I say, a worse performing flat earther in a debate than what I'm going to show, email it to me, whatcast@gmail.com, and we'll check it out. Cheers, everyone that's joining us. See some familiar names in there. Let's set a super chat goal before we get going here. Gotta get in for the old wanky juicy. Yeah, wanky juice funds. There you go. It gives you, like, get inspired with examples. No, I don't want examples. I've got my own stupid things I can set targets for. Right, before we go on there, before I get to some of these silly debate people trying to think that they are some sort of threat, let's get on this one first here. So this is incentive advice. You might have seen in the title today of this stream that I've said, will this guy show up? There he is. Incentive advice. Are you in the chat? I seriously doubt it. But he has responded to one of my videos and he said, I've been a flat earther for like 17 years. Let me know if you guys have any questions. 17 years. Hello, Cleo. 17 years. Sorry, I'm going to make Cleo. Cleo's one of my old mods on TikTok, so I'm going to make her a mod here too. There you go, Cleo. Don't let the power go to your head. So this guy was incentive advice. He's said he was 17 years, which makes him the first ever flat earther, I think. If anyone knows of anybody that's got longer time than him in the flat earth, let me know, because I've never heard anybody claim more than 11 years so far. So this guy's either full of shit or he is the OG fluff. So I've responded here. No, firstly, no, you haven't. Secondly, I'm not typing the same old argument. Join my next live. I've got plenty of questions for you. He's then said, have I... Hang on, let's move this over a bit. I think people can see it. Have I not? I'd own you. Yeah. About the moon in 3 seconds. Let's see. Do rocks float in your reality? What rocks and mountain ranges do you see through in the day? The moon is translucent in the morning. How many rocks fly that you know? Fake laughing emojis. Got to get them in there. Boom. You think people landed on that? Yikes, bro. I do this. I called out Pro Dave years ago. Both sides are bought. It's all a game at this point. I'm well versed, bud. Sounds like a twat to me. But yeah, he's apparently called out Professor. Like when people Professor Dave has millions of followers, right? Let's just get that out there. So Professor Dave's got millions of followers. Do you think he's going to notice incentive advice? I'll notice him because I've got about 3,000 not even followers. So I'll notice him. But do you think Professor Dave's going to take this challenge seriously? I called him out. Well, let's see. Let's read on and see if he's good to his word then and wants to debate. So I've put, will join my live. I have been reading the same boring drivel spattered from you parrots for years just to join one of my lives and own me. Right. He's then come back. I'd rather have you on my channel as of now. No one will step to me in person. Isn't that wild? Yeah. You're in America, I believe. Right? You're probably challenging people from across the world. This isn't my first rodeo. I said I'd been doing this for like 15 plus years. You said 17. It's going down slowly. We're going to get to the reality of 1 soon. I know how this works. I don't do internet banter. Would you be willing to discuss your stance in person like male adults? Also, you don't address any of my simple questions. So yeah, owned. And then some party confetti or whatever he's put there, right? What a knob. So I've just replied, pitiful. If you are scared to, just say so. Actually, you just did. I've then said, yeah, I'll spend a fortune to fly to you to talk about this nonsense. That makes perfect sense. If you want to do it on your channel, set it up. I will still stream it to mine. And then he's put, I will fly you here, bro, no biggie. Let's see if he does that. Please fly me there. We'll do this. What nonsense. The fact you think oceans bend with no physical proof, that nonsense, or that rocks float. Yikes, I'm up a few right now on this conversation alone, bro. Will he turn up? Any thoughts, bro? Is everything cool? Any thoughts? Yes, I'm live right now. Let's let him know. Yes, I'm live right now. Or send the tickets. Reply. I love these people. They think that these absolute nonsense arguments that have been addressed 1 trillion times in the past are earth-shattering. Do you have lives showing water arc in the middle at rest? There's plenty of places you can see that. And yes, I can show you that, but you'll say CGI. Repeatable tests others can conduct. That's all that needs to be discussed. So let's discuss it. Pretending not to be scared to debate isn't fooling anybody. He's then confirmed dickhead status by saying, I'm doing pretty well in life. Weird thing to claim of someone else who has such a fruitful life like me. Laughing emojis, hand up, and this bollocks, whatever that means. Also, my integrity reviewing my $20K fragrance collection, heart. No lies, spelling errors, etc. Well, littered with spelling errors, everything he wrote there, and probably bullshit. I wasn't sure, but some people are actually aware of this bloke. I've tagged him in it. I've just responded telling him I'm live. I can't do any more than this. I don't expect him to show. If he shows, we will bring him on. That will be very easy. And while we're on the subject of debates, right? Oh, hang on a minute. Got Wow Panties here. Just want to mention that Vladdy Daddy claimed a flat earth model on his stream last night. Can't wait for people to ask him. I would love that. I would love that. That would be so funny. Hopefully he can produce one that'll give everybody everything to point and laugh at. This is someone else. Raymond 3803. I am a retired USDA land surveyor who lost both my legs to diabetes 4 years ago. What's that got to do with anything? Living alone, no home nursing, no government subsidies, just my retirement and personal savings. Surviving on DoorDash delivery. What is that? I've surveyed hundreds of proposed dam sites from small farm ponds to large government-funded flood control structures. After construction, we'd go back to check if the as-built met specifications. The top of every dam looked like a camel's back. Tall, short dams had a very large, pronounced hump. Short, long dams had a smaller, very gradual, tapered hump. But they all had humps to account for settlement. Come back a year later, the top of the dam would be flat. Then he says 200 foot tall. I don't know why he said that. And 16 miles long. Hirakud, whatever it says, dam in India is the largest dam in the world. If Earth is a globe, that dam must be out of a permanent 43 foot tall hump in the center. It's not there. When hit with this revelation and you realize the implications, you want to yell it from the rooftops. My family tells me I'm stupid and to shut up. Your family are correct. You should listen to them. They say I use it to make myself feel important. Yes, you do. That is exactly what your family are correct. I don't need this shit. I didn't pick it. It picked me. It directly relates to what I did for a living. This dam has no hump, too obvious to explain away, too big to cover up. Outdoors for all to see. Images available for public discovery. Try to comprehend how mucked up the fictitious globe is. Set up a transit on a global beach with an eye height of 5 foot. I guess he's trying to say set 2 survey flags half a mile away, 180 degrees apart. Both rod readings at both flags would be 5.17 on a global beach. They both slope away evenly. Blah, 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 blah. That's a fact for what it's worth. Flat Earth, quote the Raymond. Nevermore. What an utter dick he seems to be, right? Anyway, I know a surveyor, a very good surveyor. So I said, interesting. I know a surveyor, Baron Rutledge. He makes the observations pretty much daily that prove the globe. Would you be interested in a live debate with him on this channel? He has then responded, yes, I'd be willing to debate Mr. Rutledge. I admit I have poor computer skills. If you're serious, I need a couple of weeks to get assistance with Skype. My God. Skype no longer exists. I want to do it right. Thank you for offering. You don't even know that Skype doesn't exist. So I've written, Skype don't exist. I can send you a link to my channel. He's then being called out. Then Baron, I went and told Baron. Baron then came to the video. I'm a professional land surveyor in Arizona. I recently set up a first order monument, the HI, whatever, 2. I don't know what any of this shit means, but there's a 6-6 in there, so therefore he's satanic. It tells you all of this stuff. He explains everything, shows you what he does. He does it. If anyone follows him on TikTok and sees his stuff, he's very impressive. And he does it live for people to tell him what he's doing wrong, and they never can. They just shill at him. I understand you want to debate. You'll need to demonstrate that you can work these problems in real time. Should be easy for a retired land surveyor. Let's set a date, Raymond. So I've said that. If you're serious, Raymond, yes, let's. If you want to see my ugly mug, blah, 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 then he's proposes a couple of days. Ray Goodwin, he won't tell me his email address for some reason. I've asked him for an email there. Please Baroness says, please bring your leveling notes field book for the beach observations you made. Thanks. Raymond has then responded, a professional land surveyor. Why are all of your videos attempts at discrediting flat earth? Not that I ever posted survey videos, but if I did, they would be real project surveys for real progressive things that got built. Surveys. So he hasn't posted a single thing, but he's criticising what Baron has posted, which is fucking weird. But I'm sure, I don't know what Baron posts any of the things he actually does, but because he gets harassed, like I think he was just a guy on the internet, and he started getting harassed by flat earthers, like a lot of people. You fucking shill, you're paid by NASA. So he's like, what's this shit? And he's just started trying to show them that they're wrong, and then they get more and more abusive, so he gets more and more into it. We know how this works, right? So anyway, without going on and on, the proposition is this Raymond comes back to Baron and tells him that his equipment sucks and all this stuff, even though this bloke don't know fuck all about surveying. But anyway, the proposition is that they're supposed to be debating on here on the 2nd of January. Timed to be confirmed, but let's see. If you're watching, Raymond, I need your email, because Baron's given me his, and I need yours to confirm this and get everything sorted out, and we can do a test run if you want and make sure that everyone knows what they're doing. So onward then. What should we look at first? This was not that one. So shall we do Ruhith versus Carl Adams? This was insanely stupid. Or the dishonesty and cowardice of Mikey Smith. That was from Reds and Astronomy Live, I believe. So I'll let people decide which of those two we should do first while I have a swig of wanky juice over here. Right. So I've just seen someone's wrote links in the comments. All around the world, right? The first one, which one was that? Mikey Smith? Or the Kyle and Ruhith? Just write the person's name, because I don't know which one I said first. All right, okay, we'll do that one. Because unfornicated can use words. Right, that one. Ruhith. Okay. This was funny. I'd never seen this until, oh my God, yeah. What do you mean, no? Is this the wrong one? What's CK going about? Yeah, Carl and Ruhith. This is it. Right. I think there must be a delay on here. Right, so I'm going to watch this. I'll probably speed up a bit to see if I can get into the other one. The usual rules apply, hour and a half stream. If I hit the super chat target, then I'll do 2 hours. We'll see how we do. Turn this volume up and let's watch. This was on Gerrans. For some reason it won't play, which is annoying. Well, that's going well, isn't it? Will anything play? It won't play. Will this one play? It doesn't play. I was on time today. I see if I can get one of my videos to play. I tested all this out, and this is what I get for it. Is that going to play? And this has been tested endlessly, and they two of their. Well, that's me, but it doesn't seem to be. Let's see. Oh, that's playing now. Or is it? This is utter chaos.
Let me. I want to see the real ones. Show me the real pictures. I don't want to see the negative.
What is going on? Right, I might have to let's load the page.
So it's
There we
Rufus
go.
Knoll with a
Right,
Y.
right at the end. Let's go to the beginning.
Channel in all of existence.
All right.
Kyle can choose.
All right, that's nice of you. Very nice of you to defer to the newbie. Kyle,
Yeah,
what do you
so
want to do?
I'm
You
the
want to go
resident.
first or second? Let's pretend you won the coin toss. It's heads. You picked heads. Go ahead.
I'll go ahead and go first. I'll get that out of the way.
Okay, so we got 3-minute intros, and then we got some claims and questions to ask and to answer. You got 3 minutes. When you start, I will start the
Now
clock.
keep your eye on Jaron.
So I'm Kyle Adams. I'm
Jaron-
on the Globebusters show, Globebusters Tech on Thursdays. It's always really fun.
Jaron here was a flat earther, and even Jaron can't stop laughing at this fucking idiot Kyle. Kyle, I think, without going, I'll do this over the next couple of weeks. Some more of these videos. If you people send me the ones that they think, if anyone done worse than Kyle in the last 5 years, I ain't seen it. But I think putting this one on first is revealing the winner immediately, because I don't think I've seen anyone perform as badly as Kyle. Usually when you see a flat earth debate, you think, fuck me, that flat earther just got absolutely annihilated. Then you read the comments and all of the flat earthers are going, yeah, you crushed them, and all this bollocks. In the comments to this video, everyone's saying, oh my God, that was so fucking embarrassing. Never have this guy on again. That don't very often happen, does it?
And I really enjoy debates. My main focus in doing a debate is conflict resolution. If you're going through a debate and no one changes their mind, then there's no point. The entire point of a debate is to change someone's mind. And so all of my questions are really focused on changing minds. My YouTube channel is Kyle Adams Abolish NASA. That's the easiest way to find
Oh
me.
my God.
I'm also on
I've never seen his channel. Does he still post, this bloke? I might have to have a look at what he actually posts for pure comedy.
Facebook, Brighteon, and a bunch of other places. So you can look around for me. That's my intro.
Okay. Riff, you want to go ahead when you start? I'll start the clock.
Yeah, I'll just share screen. Share, don't need audio. Oh, excuse me as well. So yeah, I'm Rufus, obviously. I didn't know much about Kyle until the other day. We chatted briefly on his channel and on his Miro board occasionally. But I watched a video he put out yesterday about Earth bulge. So how the Earth...
Before they get going here, I've got 2 super chats to do. Apologies for not getting to them immediately. Mike Gurney, £5. Cheers, Mike. With all this wank juice, you'll need to do a crying live. I'm on it. It's one for the new year. Gravity hits hard, $2 Australian. Character waving their hand saying me. What? Oh, is that what? Oh, got you. I know what you're talking about from that dickhead incentive. I don't know what the fuck his name is. Keep looking at. If you see him in the comments section here, incentive, whatever. What is he even called? If you're here listening, just jump up and I will send you the link. It'd be fun.
Due to its rotation, sort of bulges out at the equator. So it's an ellipsoid rather than a perfect sphere. And this quote that's on screen just now came up. It says, this conclusion directly contradicts the explanation which presupposes that the Earth moves, by Albert Michelson of Michelson-Morley fame. And that is from a journal in 1881. Excuse me, been sick all week. And if you read that quote, you would think that Albert Michelson has concluded that the Earth doesn't move. But if you read the paper, there's quite a few paragraphs in there that obviously say that the Earth, or he believes at least that the Earth is moving. So, to coincide with the direction of Earth's motion, considering only the velocity of the Earth in its orbit, direction of the Earth's motion in its orbit, and again, the Earth's motion in its orbit. So these are all from the same source as that modified quote. You'll notice that there was a little ellipsis in the middle, but the paper itself, clearly shows that he doesn't believe that he, disproved Earth motion. So that's a misrepresentation of what Michelson actually thought. All right, so the actual quote is that his hypothesis was that the Earth moves through a stationary ether, and that's what he was testing. So you'll see the second paragraph there. So you've got the parts that were in the original quote mind quote. This conclusion directly contradicts the explanation of the phenomenon of aberration, which has hitherto been generally accepted and which presupposes that the Earth moves through the stationary ether. All right, so the quote mine was shortened to misrepresent Michelson's view of the Earth's orbit. So I want to give Kyle a chance to either retract the quote mine or double down, and then
let's see what he does while we're waiting there. Unfornicated. Cheers, Dan. At Whatcast, that is called Danth's Law, claiming a victory in a debate you barely participated in. That is every single TikTok flat earther, by the way. Are you on there, Dan? I'd like to get you on one of my TikTok lives. You're probably not, because you're sensible. Also, used your likeness having a pint at the 2025 Humbly Awards show intro by CMS. Hope you don't mind. No, I don't mind. Whatevs. I don't care. I don't care who uses my likeness is on the internet. As long as I'm not cry wanking, I'm fine. Cheers for the soup chats. Nice one.
the audience can make up their mind on that, on his integrity. That's the end of my intro.
Okay. I feel like that's kind of like a opening claim there that you're kind of looking for a rebuttal on. But I'll just say that it's a great topic. I've got the entire article, and that right alone would be a great video to get into, where we actually have the time to really open up into it.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll have Kyle start. Kyle, you can start with one of your questions.
Okay, I'll ask my
bring up your questions. I'm not
opening question. Share screen.
And you're sharing.
There we go.
Okay. Right. Do you agree that the globe Earth significantly breaking the orbital plane should break the heliocentric model, making it so none of the planets appear where they're supposed to? So if the Earth was way up here, kind of in this comet's trajectory, do you agree that that would totally mess up where you see the different planets over here?
Right. So you're asking a hypothetical, and like I know why you're asking it, because your further questions try to show that you think the Earth is breaking the orbital plane, right? But my response to the question as it is asked at the moment is that if the Earth's orbital plane was way different to the other planets, then that would be the heliocentric model, right? The heliocentric model reflects reality in that our Earth's orbital plane is roughly the same as all the other planets, except for Mercury, I guess. So I'm answering your hypothetical with the answer of the Earth does not break the orbital plane.
What does Kyle do now, out of interest? Because I know I've seen him before, but I've never seen this debate before. I'd never seen Ruhif before until I saw some of this debate the other day. So where have I seen Kyle? Was he on one of Duffy's final debate, or the So Long stream, or whatever that was called? Was he on one of those? I've seen him somewhere.
So you disagree?
Well, if the Earth was at a different incline to the rest of the planets, that would be the heliocentric model, right? Do you get what I'm saying? Our model is that it's in line.
Our heliocentric model currently as it is.
Yeah. Yes. They're all roughly on the same plane. Yes.
Yeah. Our current heliocentric model has the Earth on this orbital plane. But if the Earth was not on the orbital plane, do you agree that that would break our current heliocentric model?
Sure. Yes.
Okay. So you do agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's not. So the Earth is on roughly the same plane as the others.
Okay. We'll get into that.
Okay, Ruhif, you got a question? Go ahead.
We'll get into that. I bet we don't. Ruhif, I don't know the guy, never spoken to him, never seen him before, but he has the perfect temperament to talk to these dickheads.
My question. All right. So Kyle is of the opinion that science proves things. So you have a phenomenon in reality, and you come up with some explanation. All right. So I might say that the sun sets. My proposed explanation is that the Earth is rotating. I have to drink all the way through this thing.
Oh, is this the one that had his kid? Is this the one that everyone covered that had his... Oh, that's where I've seen him. Got ya.
My proposed explanation for why the sunset is that the Earth is rotating, right? So then that's my hypothesis. I go and make some predictions, some other predictions based off that hypothesis, and then go and test them in reality. If the test in reality matches what I expect, it's a logical fallacy to then say that that hypothesis has been proven scientifically. That's a fallacy. It's called affirming the consequent. If my model predicts something in reality and reality disagrees, then my model has been falsified. All right. So the question for you is, and this is one question that I think Jaron would appreciate, because Jaron likes discussion questions rather than gotcha questions. Is that correct, Jaron? So this is like a free-form answer for Kyle to explain how he tests an idea against reality in order to prove something. So it's a free-form discussion question. Go for it.
Okay. Am I good to answer now?
Yep. But
Okay. When it comes to proving things, the example that I often turn to is a burnt pancake. Okay, I can prove that pancake is.
And there you have it. Ruhith, everybody saying how great he is in the comments there. I'm very impressed with him. I've only seen him once, but I'm going to look at some of his other stuff to see him in some other debates, hopefully, because I always enjoy watching these debates. He makes a point there. Kyle then takes his turn and talks about burning pancakes. Oh, gee, I wonder which side the brains are on this debate. All right, before I go on out, Ruhith is one of the, and I'm one of the fucking stupidest. He's one of the smartest debunkers. I wouldn't even consider myself a debunker. I'm just a laugher and pointer. I do not care. Which is a strong point, I think, to realise that. You have probably seen Kyle behind McDonald's giving hand jobs to sailors. Can go. $5 New Zealand. Nice one, can go. He's probably under Twatzoid's desk giving him a hand job. And Twats, if he starts crying suddenly, we know what's going on. All right. Cheers, can go.
Burnt because it looks burnt, it smells burnt, it tastes burnt. It kind of crunches when you scrape it or things like that. Okay, there are no predictions required to prove that a pancake is burnt. It just has to match all of the definition of being burnt. Similarly, I don't have to predict anything to prove that I have.
I've got to say, 72 people watching, only 16 likes. Don't be so lazy. Come on, give it a like. Give it a like. Click on the like. We can't spread the word here and get more people in here if we ain't clicking on the like, people. This is karma for me, because when I watch lives, I very rarely click the like. I always forget. But I won't anymore, because now I know how important it is to the creator. Cheers, mate. I'm not talking about God, either. I'm talking about me.
5 fingers on my right hand. I can show it to you.
Cue the flat earth down thumb.
If we were to meet in person, I can let you touch my hand and experience it, examining it for yourself. Again, no predictions required for proving that I have a right hand.
Cool. Okay, so the burnt pancake and 5 fingers are just observable facts, right? Science does observations and observable facts and that sort of thing. But the idea of science is to come up with an explanation, right? And to go from a fact, such as a burnt pancake or 5 fingers, to some sort of explanation. So you might say the reason we have 5 fingers is something to do with evolution, whatever, it doesn't matter, right? But you go from a fact in reality, and then you have to make what's called an inductive leap or an inductive inference to what could be an explanation. Why is it that we have 5 fingers? 5 fingers is a fact, but why? Right? And as soon as you make that leap to an explanation or a proposed explanation, I personally cannot see a way to then go, here's my hypothesis, and here's an experiment that proves my hypothesis. I can't see how that's logically possible without affirming the consequent, like I said a minute ago. So you've presented facts rather than explanations.
Science is a collection of facts.
But I think we disagree on what a fact is then,
okay.
And what science is. Yeah,
you're welcome to. I've just seen you, no true Scotsman, the whole science appeal there, but I don't think this is supposed to be a debate and claim right here.
True.
That's my answer to your question.
Okay.
Oh, is Kyle going to get to that later, along with everything? Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
I think science is a way of providing and testing explanations. That's what I call it. And we can differ on that. That's fine.
Okay,
cool.
Kyle, go ahead. You got your next question.
Okay, my questions are going to come after my claims.
Do you want to claim one then?
Yeah,
just make your own rules up, Kyle. You're already losing. You're going to get annihilated.
further claims. And so if
Okay, we're doing
you're
claim.
ready for me to get into the claims, we can do that.
Sure.
Unless you wanted to go first, but either way. But
Go ahead.
okay. Let's see. Okay. So
Yeah. Oh, Roger. Hello, Roger.
I'm gonna go ahead and share screen again.
Okay.
He's got a Las Vegas sign behind him. Welcome to Flat Earth.
Okay. The heliocentric model can't work without breaking the orbital plane. So I'm just going to build the globe model for you here. On the globe model, the sun should be parallel with the equator on the equinox. Okay, so we get this parallel line with the equator.
Hang on a minute.
Okay. And please notice how
Kango,
this
always,
curve,
Kango, your super chats
directly
always crack
overhead
me
is
up.
going to be
Hang
in
on.
a different direction over.
Kango is like the uncouth super chatter, but I love it. You can just sense Carl's total cuntiness simmering underneath his fake smile. Why do they always do that fake smile as well? They always do. You're not bothering me. Usually when they're under pressure for some reason. So we got Mike Gurney here. £5, nice one, Mike. Cheers. Fun fact: almost every hand you have shaken has had a knob in it. Yes, I know. Like I bother. Like so, isn't it funny? Like when you go toilet or something, you go for a piss. Do you all do the same as me? Where like I'll try and grab the top of the door or something. Like I'll wash my hands, and I think no one else ever washes their hands in here, and I'll try and grab the top of the door or something. To think, oh, everyone's doing the same shit, so there's probably more hands up here than there is on the handle because everyone's got the same idea. I don't want to touch anyone's piss, right? So I'll try and get out of the toilet like this. But then you'll just go and randomly shake someone's hand later in the day, and then you think to yourself, they might have just had a wank or a piss. This person. Right, so why am I bothering with this door shit? Just wash your hands again when you get out of there. Yeah, anyway, bit of a rant there for no reason. Cheers there, Mike. We had another one here. JD. $4.99. I find Ruhif as boring as fuck. I much prefer your style. Well, thanks, mate. I'll take the compliment. I like a bit of both. Would I watch me? I think I speak to flat earthers the way they deserve to be spoken to, but I'm definitely not on the level of I love science, I love space and all of this bollocks. I just don't like the way flat earthers treat people and march around like they're super bright and super important. I'm not a fucking dum-dum by any stretch of the imagination, but people like Ruhif would absolutely blow me away. And Toon and people like that. But yeah, I appreciate that. Each to their own. I'd like a bit of a mix-up myself, but cheers. Thanks for the super chats.
Over here and over here than it is over here. Okay, that's kind of how that works. Okay, now adding to this model, Polaris should be perpendicular to the equator. Going. Okay, and we should have 2 equinoxes every year. So right here, we've already kind of established an orbital plane. Okay, this is the analemma. I learned about that after I got into flat Earth, and was like, oh wow, that's major evidence.
Oh God, not the analemma bollocks.
The speed of the sun changes throughout the year. Okay,
No,
when you put that together, you have to break the orbital plane in order to make the solstices work on the equinoxes.
For anybody that might be new, well, I don't think anyone would be new to this topic because it's fucking dying. But if you know Globey McGlobeface, go onto his TikTok and he does a perfect example of why the analemma does what it does. And he uses like objects in his living room to show you exactly what's happening. For the layman, I like things like that when you can just show everybody this is what it is and everybody can just understand it without flat earthers talking bollocks and pretending domes exist and whatever. But yeah, all this analemma shit they come out with, it's ridiculous.
So you're trying to, or I get, you've got the orbital plane over here, and
yeah, you're a Canadian space advocate, more of the space lover. There's a lot of people are. I'm just really not. I would never go. If someone said to me, fuck me. If someone said to me, you can go to space for free, I'd say no. If someone said to me, you can go to space and we'll give you £1 million, I'd have to give it some thought. I do not want to go to space. I wouldn't want to go to space.
Sorry, I've got the solstices appearing over here. And in order to do that, you have to move this one up and or down on that orbital plane in order to maintain the perpendicular status with Polaris and the equator. So do you agree that the Earth would have to move north or south in order for the solstices to take place? That's my next question.
Your claim and question. No, I don't. And I did point out to you a couple of days ago what the issue is with your first diagram. So I'll share screen. One sec.
Okay.
Oh, let me zoom. There we go. Oops. Share orbit. All right. So I did this in GeoGebra the other day. And it's a 3D model of just the Earth and the Sun. So obviously the Sun.
See, they could be saying, and yeah, it is a lot of wank juice, but hello, muscles. It is a lot of wank juice, but it's also, would I return? Like, it's just so daunting, isn't it? Thinking that you're in this void of nothingness. All of the stuff that he's going to do here with this stuff here, it means absolutely nothing to me. And I'm going to just confess that, right? Either one of these could be saying anything here, and I am not going to be able to verify any of it. Just to... Oh, looks like. Who are you? And why do you keep having...
One's at the center, the blue thing's the...
Why do you keep coming into the comments having little jabs at me? Have we got like history or something? Like, I'll just tell me who you are and tell me your problem with me.
Earth. And all I can do is make this rotate around the Earth. All right. So your first image, first slide said that at the equinox, which is here, that the equator is parallel with the orbital plane. It's not. So at equinox, that's what it looks like. Oops, there we go. Does that look better? So the orbital plane is dipped down into the screen. It is not parallel. All right. So Polaris is above the poles, but if you look at that from the side, Polaris is way off over there in that direction where that purple line's pointing. It's
oh, cool. Yeah, I'm just gonna. No, actually, I won't do anything. It's kind of boring. The constant sarcasm if you're not going to tell me who you are.
not directly above the orbital plane of the solar system. So you've got a fundamental misunderstanding of the heliocentric model in that first slide, and that affects the rest of your presentation.
This would be the equatorial plane.
Yeah, so that's
the equatorial plane, but that's different from the orbital plane according to your model here.
Yes. So the ecliptic plane, or the plane of all the orbits, is that big plane. The black line, that's the equatorial plane. It is not parallel to the ecliptic. So I just disagree with your first premise. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Guess you're going to go with the claim.
Has anyone seen Gizmo? That could very well be Gizmo. Has anyone seen Gizmo since? Gizmo was I loved Gizmo. If Gizmo came into every live that I did, I'd probably quit my other job, to be honest. It was that profitable. Yeah, looks like you don't know me from anywhere, just a guy on YouTube, watched MC Toon, and your live stream started popping up on my feed. Okay, but why do you keep writing in my comments, oh, it's Matt from Whatcast? I didn't know you was Matt from Whatcast. I can't believe it took me this long to realise you was Matt from Whatcast. Hello, Matt from Whatcast. Like, what's all that about? I don't really understand. If there's a joke in there, like, let me into it.
My claim, what's my first claim? Fuck, hold on. Where is it? My first claim is plain sailing. Plain sailing often gets brought up in chats in Discord or whatever as, this, they treat the Earth as a flat plane to sail over relatively short distances. Let me bring up my slides. How do I change the...
You might have to stop sharing.
No, I can do it. It's all right.
All right.
Oh, is that better?
Don't ask me next time. Yes, go ahead.
Figure it out in my head. Am I shared?
Yep, good.
Cool. All right. So plain sailing.
Now that is a point, I'm Thornica. Where the fuck? He was in every one of my lives. Maybe that's him. That could very well be him. Yeah, because he's definitely vanished.
Treats the Earth as flat. And here's a little excerpt from just some website, Seafarer Education. So plain sailing is so called because we pretend the Earth is flat for the purpose of the calculation. Because of this, plain sailing is only accurate enough for distances under 500 nautical miles. So yes, plain sailing does treat the Earth as a flat rectangular grid. So all the latitude and longitude lines are orthogonal, perpendicular to each other. Because they're perpendicular to each other, if you want to go from one lat long to another lat long, you do it by drawing a right angle triangle. So on the right here, we're going from 58 south, 150 east to 62 degrees south, 160 degrees east. So we're going south by 4 degrees of latitude and going east by 10.
Kyle's sitting there at the top giving it. I ain't got a fucking clue what he's talking. He's doing the face of you. Oh yeah, right, okay. Thinking, what's he on about? I don't know what the fuck he's doing. But I'm assuming that Ruhif has pulled this quote that Kyle was used when they do that thing when they bring one line out of a 40-page document and say, look at this one line. That proves that I'm right. And then ignore the other 40 and 3/4 pages of the document.
Degrees of longitude. All right. So now we're going to make a triangle and try and get some sides. The southward distance, so this edge, you just go 60 nautical miles per degree of latitude. That's a rule. Like if you back away from Polaris, 60 nautical miles, it will drop 1 degree in the sky. So it's every degree of latitude is 60 nautical miles. So we know this edge of the triangle, it's 240 nautical miles. All right, but how do we work out this distance of 10 degrees longitude from 150 to 160 east? All right, and that east-west distance is called the departure, and it's calculated by getting the difference in longitude, which was 10 degrees, and the key is that you multiply it by the cosine of the average latitude, right, and then convert it to nautical miles. And this formula, the fact that you multiply it by the cosine of the latitude, actually tells you the shape of the Earth, right? And I said, but Rufy, I don't know any trigonometry. Please explain.
Rufy, I don't know any trigonometry. Please explain.
Right. So if I'm at the equator and I take the cosine of 0 degrees latitude, that equals 1. And we multiply that by 60 nautical miles per degree and we get 60. Right. So every degree of longitude at the equator is 60 nautical miles that wide. All right. If our middle latitude or mean latitude is 60 degrees south, which is our 58 and 62, the cosine of 60 is 0.5. Right. And that means there's only 30 degrees or 30 nautical miles per degree of longitude. And then I've got another example. If you're close to the poles at 85 degrees south, then the cosine of 85 is 0.087 multiplied by 60.
I've always wondered this, and I'm going to ask my chat. 83 people in here now, right? 40 likes. Come on, let's get 60 likes with 83 people. That should be fucking easy, right? Click the like button. But whenever I've been like, before I started doing this on YouTube, I was doing podcasts and whatever, but I wasn't really doing Flat Earth on YouTube. I was doing other stuff and whatever, but I wasn't really doing this. But I used to watch a lot of live Flat Earth lives. And when people start getting into this, all of this mathematics and this measures this and this measures that, I'd sit there and think, I believe this person, but I have got no fucking clue if that's right, what they're saying, right? But then I'd always see the chat confidently agreeing. And I'd think to myself, I bet none of these fuckers know any more than me. Right. So I'm going to ask my chat right here. How many of you are following everything Ruhif says here regarding maths? I am genuinely curious about this. Because I have to use basic maths every day in my job, but I do not understand all of this bollocks.
And you get about 5 nautical miles per degree of longitude, right? And that tells you that lines of longitude converge at the poles. So they don't radiate out like the AE map. Welcome to the globe. So this is like a visual representation of what the plain sailing method tells you about the Earth. So at the equator, the distance between...
Oh, looks alike is definitely a flat earther then. I thought he might be. With his cowardly undertone of sarcasm.
Between these longitude lines at 60 nautical miles per degree, as you get closer to the poles in both the north and the south,
You could always come up and be super sarcastic on the stream yourself.
northern and southern hemispheres, that distance shrinks. The longitude lines converge. There's my claim.
Okay. Kyle, you want to go ahead and answer that? Go ahead.
Okay, we're jumping to claim 1.
Yes.
Give me a second here while I hold my. I was all ready to answer his question, but didn't see it. Sorry. Okay, my rebuttal. We don't live on a Mercator map. I don't claim that's what the flat Earth looks like. So on the flat Earth, we have the North Pole at the center. So the lines of longitude are going to converge on the flat
Yeah,
Earth.
I don't follow. Like I can do basic most things, but I would never pretend, and I never do. If I'm ever debating anyone and they get into this stuff, I just tap out. I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. Talk about something. Talk about something I can observe. Talk about something I can see. Let's talk about things that, because I realised, because I was the audience, I realised that most of the audience, I don't know, look like you're so unfunny that I'm really tempted to just get rid of you. I don't know. You better be funny pretty quick. It's distracting. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, I would never ever bother getting into it because I know that most of the audience don't really understand. All of the flat earthers, if any flat earth advocate says anything with maths involved or math involved, then they all just accept it and say, yeah, that's true. Because none of them did anything. They can't even do, as Dick Wayne showed the other day, 1 times 1 is 2. He literally said that. So that's your standard that you're dealing with. Anyway,
map as well.
Not in the south.
But not in the south. Yes,
right.
They're going to diverge in the south. And so, yeah, that's if you want to try and argue against the flat Earth, you got to know what you're arguing against. You can't just say, "Oh, well, it doesn't converge on the Mercator map, so therefore you're wrong." You're like, okay, as long as I don't believe we live on the Mercator map, that's not really an issue.
Do you believe plain sailing works in the southern or the outer ring?
The outer ring. I love the way he talks in his language as well. He still calls it the outer ring because he knows he's going to know what that's about. Cheers for all the hearts there, whoever's doing that. Please click the thumbs up like button if you're watching this. It takes 1 second of your life and costs you nothing. And also, to those people watching this after it goes out, please hit the hype. There's a hype button you can hit, and it hypes the video and sends it to more people, and it costs nothing to do. You should all do that. I'll do that to people that I like. If they're struggling, don't do it to big fucking creators. I don't need it, but the small creators like this, me, need it.
Sailing works in the outer ring.
Yeah, the southern hemisphere. Yeah.
So you didn't really describe exactly what plain sailing was sufficiently, at least for me to fully grasp and understand it. You just called it plain sailing, and so I'm not really sure is my answer.
Okay. Well, can I say that I gave you these claims and questions 4 days ago, I think?
Yeah, and if you want to be vague then you're still vague now. So
I can.
It's Dick Wayne here. Yeah, if you go into when the videos drop, I don't know if it'd be available on the when it's live, but if you go into where it says comments, and then it's got dots, and you scroll along on comments, and it says hype this video, and then you scroll along again, it will say live chat as it happened, like when it was live. In the middle between chat now and live chat is hype. You could just press it and use your hype points to hype the video. It's a good thing. It really does push the videos out there.
Read off the claim. I did read off the claim, didn't I? I would have thought that would be your prerogative to go and research what plain sailing is to have a rebuttal.
Yeah, that's kind of on you to do your explanation for the audience here. And if you want to change my mind, then that's kind of on you.
3 more $5 or whatever, or more super chats to get the target. Will then extend this for another hour
To present it properly.
Okay, I went through the geometry of plain sailing. I think the audience saw that. So if you don't have a rebuttal, it's fine.
Okay, yeah, I've got further when it comes to
nice one, thanks.
This whole thing here. So yeah, I was just going to say that
Oh, Kyle's completely fucked as usual. Yeah, I'm going to be dropping the video of Jaren talking to Dick at the weekend and a few other clips from the lives I've been doing this over the past week.
When it comes to if longitude was a problem, they wouldn't use the Gleason map in navigation systems, and I've got a patent that uses a Gleason map in the navigation system. And if you want to see that, I can open it up for you.
Yeah, I'll send you around. I'll mod you up now. Yeah, and Sneaky Guy too, because Sneaky Guy actually saved me once when I doxed myself without realizing. So mod them up. There you go.
Right, but if you claim the Gleason map can be used for navigation, I will bet my left testicle, right, that it doesn't get used. I will guarantee you that under the hood, Haversine or Vincenti is used to work out distances and bearings.
Distances and bearings?
Yeah, if you want to navigate from point A to point B, how do you know how far it is? What direction do you travel?
How
the
do you know
Mercator
how
map
far
can be
it is?
used reasonably good for that, yeah.
Well, it's different on land than it is in water, because on land you can actually know how far it is by using an odometer on your car, but you can't really do that out in the ocean. You can't.
Sorry, you're saying you can't know where you are in the ocean, or what are you saying?
You can't. Odometers for cars don't work in the oceans unless you're dragging along the bottom surface of the ocean, but no one really does that unless you're talking about like the deep sea cables, and they're kind of measuring those out, and that's a kind of a different story.
These people like Kyle, they should really stick to people that don't really know the topic at all. Like they should stick to the Facebook groups and stuff when you've still got people saying, why don't we fall off the edge then? Those sort of people. That's who Kyle should be debating, not fucking Ruhif. Jesus Christ.
But when we're talking about like the surface area across the ocean, you don't just drag an odometer there and say, oh, this is how far it was.
Right, but you can see your speed relative to the water.
If you know how fast the water's going.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sorry, not in currents, right? But you can see your speed relative to the water.
You can see your speed relative to the water. If you have other objects in the distance to kind of go off of, like if you're looking at a mountain over there, you can kind of watch the degrees and shift of that mountain over there.
You're saying you're in the middle of a lake, or middle of the ocean, nothing around you. You're moving. You're saying you can't see how fast you're going relative to the water?
Okay, you can drag what the navigators used to do a long time ago was keep a chip log, and that tells you kind of how fast you appear to be moving. Okay, but if that water is moving, you can't tell the difference between whether you're moving or whether that water is moving. If you're running on a treadmill, for example, you can be going, kicking your feet really, really fast, but essentially you're not running anywhere.
But
so that
relative
same
to
thing
the
can
water.
happen in the air, and it can also happen in the water. And so you could be spending a long time, oh, my engines are chugging really hard, but you have no idea if you're even moving at all unless you can have some reference point to tell you. And so what a lot of old-time navigators...
The reference point, when I say relative to the water, I mean the reference point is the water. We're ignoring currents, right? So relative to the water, can you see how far?
Hackraman, always so supportive. Australian dollars. Good day, Matt. My contribution to the Wank Juice Fund. What's the time there where you are there at the moment, Hackraman? I'm getting your name right, and by the way. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Fast you're going.
Like I said, that's what a chip log does. But just because you've got high RPMs, that doesn't mean you're moving. Like you could be moving, or the water could be moving, and that's the hard thing to distinguish.
Your analogy, right? Your treadmill analogy is saying the currents are really strong, right? I'm saying relative to the water, can you see how fast you're going?
Okay, if the currents are really strong, you don't know if you're moving or if the water is moving.
Answer the question.
That is my answer to your question.
It's not an answer. See, I could at this point I'd just be ripping him to pieces. I just couldn't help myself. I'd be like, what's with the fucking Coke bottle glasses? What's with the shit hair? Fuck off with a pussy beard.
Okay, relative to the water, can you work out how fast?
Because I'm mature like that.
You're going relative to the water. Ignoring currents, we'll deal with currents in a minute.
Okay, so that's what a chip log does, is it measures kind of the water's moving this way and I'm not keeping up with the water. Okay?
That's what a chip log does. You're moving relative to the water.
That you're
The
that tells you
currents
kind of how
could be
fast you're moving.
huge.
The water could be moving, or I could be moving.
He doesn't understand what he's saying. The most basic thing he's saying.
But exactly which one is like geographically moving, you can't tell.
Right. Okay. But I agree with that. But relative to the water, can you work out how fast you're going relative to the water?
That's what the chip.
Dan, as a non-sailor, I'm offended by his ignorance. I literally, the closest I've ever come to sailing is a lilo. 4 minutes and counting. 2 more super chats to go. Let's do it. Come on. I fancy staying here for a bit longer tonight.
Plug does.
Okay, so yes. Okay, so if we do one trip from Western USA over to Japan or whatever, and the trip backwards, we can work out what the approximate current is.
Oh shit! Sorry, I've been neglecting Nathan Oakley lately. Right, I got this one now.
It doesn't have lips.
That one. Who sent me that? Arnold, is he in here? Arnold sent me that.
It doesn't have lips.
It doesn't have lips.
Violated by gas. Sounds like cognitive dissonance to me, mate.
Come on, put your requests in now for the Nathan Oakley sound bites. Hackerman, yeah, two Australian dollars. I appreciate that. Won't move the needle though for some reason because I always put it as 5 or above because I don't want to just have a ridiculously high standard. 7 a.m. here, and yes, you got my name right. Lovely, love it. Nice one. If you got any gas, go down, go boom, boom. Let's put that one on there. Is that on the next page? I've got so many clips here for the podcast.
Gas go down, go boom, boom, my friend.
There you go.
You can work out what the approximate current is from going from.
If you do both ways,
and to what was that place?
Just whatever, some long journey that you take roughly the same path on, but in both directions.
Muscles, appreciate that. One more to go. Let's extend this chat. It's one more, and we'll extend it. Nice one, thank you. What do I do? Right.
Okay, so what's your proposal for measuring how fast the current is going? Just drop the
you
bottle
do it in both
water
directions, right?
Just drop the bottle in the water and just not touch it?
You do it in both directions. You get different times, but you know your speed relative to the water. You can then work out distances and roughly what the current is.
Okay, so we send 2 boats at the same time going in opposite directions on the same path?
It doesn't have to be the same time, right? We'll just assume the current's the same, constant.
Currents aren't always the same speed.
Okay, but then you're running into...
Say Davids. Is it Davids or Davids? Davids, juicing the wank juice bank. Nice one. Got to the target there. Brilliant. Which means, you know what that means? That it gets extended and I'll set another target. We're extending the, so I'm here for another hour now. Unfornicated, my man, Dan. Got to do that show we spoke about, Dan. $5. I'm going to shill to get the value, then sub to Unfornicated channel for the end of year award show 2025. Humblies complete with trophies. When is that, Dan? Tell me when that is, and I will be there. Yeah, get your value. Fuck it. It's the old idea of the old chat of super. Cheers, guys. Appreciate it.
Oh, just because I'm going that way, the current's really strong against me, and then when I come back this way, it's behind me. Like, just assume that they're the same current, right? Or you can do it at the same time, whatever. But if you do the back and forth journey and you know your speed relative to the water, you can work out what the current is.
Okay, so you're kind of losing me here when it comes to your overall claim and point.
What was the claim? The claim was plain sailing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, we're a bit off topic. Plain sailing, right? The method of plain sailing tells you the shape of the Earth because it tells you that the method, the geometry of it, tells you that lines of longitude converge to the poles. That's the claim. There you go.
Okay, and I already responded to that. So,
well, does plain sailing work in the southern hemisphere?
We can get more into the problems that I don't think you're taking into account in your next claims.
All right, whatever.
Okay, go
next
ahead,
one.
Kyle.
Okay. Let's see.
Yeah, that should be good, Dan.
Okay, and I will go ahead and share screen.
Okay.
Am I still sharing? One sec. Oops.
Yeah, I think
Stop
you
sharing. There you go.
Okay.
Go for it. Come on, Kyle.
Okay. So here we've got this diagram. The heliocentric teachers show you pictures
God, he's going to do that thing. You've all been indoctrinated by the heliocentric teachers.
like this over and over again. It's always with the equinox being on this far side. But if you bring that equinox over here, okay, they don't show it they don't teach it in textbooks from this position because it just doesn't work. And so anytime you bring this over here, you've got to significantly drop that equator line. And over here, and so all of a sudden now you're getting the solstices every time you move this over here, and you're not quite lining up in the center. So do you
can see CSM? Yeah, I've heard it. A feature in the intro. Brilliant. Love it. Conspiracy music. I'm going to shill so that everyone subscribes to Unfornicated for the end of year awards. Whatcast is featured in the intro. Cheers. Yeah, go watch that. I'm definitely gonna, if I don't catch it live, if it's gonna be on at ridiculous time that I'm not gonna be able to do, then I will definitely watch it after. I'm very curious to see me, and I'm very curious to see the awards. What's it? Is it just flat Earth, or is it like lots of different random shit?
agree that if the sun appears perfectly east and west on the equinoxes, despite being below or above the orbital plane, then the sun should appear perfectly east and west on
Dan, I'll do it if I'm around. Yeah, if it's not in the middle of the night for me, I'll be there.
the solstices as well.
All right. So there's an implicit claim in that question, despite being below or above the orbital plane. It's not. Back to your first claim, your diagram is fundamentally wrong. So scroll up just a little tiny, teeny bit. All right. So your diagram on the right, right? That's not the equinox. That's the solstice.
Uh-huh.
All right. And first of all, there's a slight error in that the black diagram on the right, you've got the sun pointing at the equator, not the tropics.
Yeah, I understand that this is not the equinox because that's my demonstration.
Well, if you understand, then why are you showing it and pretending that it is?
If I try to move this globe over into this position, that's what happens. The equinox doesn't work from that position. And so I'll point out that
Colder. The good thing is, if he can't figure out how to wipe his ass, he just needs to ask angels of shite and he'll do it for him.
with the equinox, okay, up here, you're above the orbital plane. See this little yellow line? That's the orbital plane on this model. And so
the Earth is not above the orbital plane.
And in the evening, you're on the opposite side of the orbital plane.
Right. So on the left diagram, that's the equinox. That's the the autumnal equinox for you guys.
Yep.
All right. The sun is the Earth is not above the orbital plane. That yellow line
Part
will
of it
go
is,
through.
the other part isn't.
Right. So it goes through the center.
Okay, so the center is right here. And so
Oh my God, vicious cycle in the house. 20 gift memberships. If you just got a gift membership, you can now go and watch all of the members only content that I've been putting out. And you should thank Vicious Cycle 0379. Love it, Vicious Cycle.
yeah.
So it's not above or below.
Yeah. So here the sun is perfectly west of the orbital plane, while over here the sun is perfectly east of the orbital plane.
Yep.
Sorry, not of the orbital plane. Sorry, it's perfectly east. That's kind of, you watch the sunrise perfectly east in the morning, and then despite being above the orbital plane, now you're watching the sun set perfectly east in the west, even though you're above on a completely different side of the orbital plane.
Right. But by how much?
By how much?
Yeah. If you're at the tropics,
how
right?
many
If you're at the
miles
tropics
away
on
the
the
orbital plane is from the
equator, right? If you're at the tropics, right, and you are 23 and a half, that's 1,200 and something, 1,300 nautical miles above the perfect orbital plane. Do you realize how insignificant that is to 93 million miles?
Okay, I'm kind of wondering. You're just trying to minimize the issue.
Jesus. This is my main problem, and I've shared this a few times, but this is my main problem with flat earthers. And this is the truth, and people will say that I'm being triggering when I say this. Texas! I'd love to go to Texas one day. I've been to a few states. I've never been to Texas. It feels a bit hot for me. Cheers, Vicious. Is that flat earthers, people will get triggered when I say this, but it's 100% true. And I'm not even trying to be a dick. They are so stupid that they have no idea how stupid they are. That is just the truth. The fact that Kyle can't grasp thinking in 3 dimensions is insane.
Yeah, it's effectively zero. Yeah.
Okay, you're just trying to minimalize it, but that doesn't make it go away.
Because it's minimal. Should we do the tan of 1,200 nautical miles over 93 million miles?
Okay,
I don't think
so
that would be measurable with any equipment that I have.
The issue here is about the sun rising perfectly east and setting perfectly west, even though you're so far away from...
Vicious Cycle. I think Fletcher Boy and Vicious Cycle. Vicious Cycle's got to get a wrench for that. There's always dropping the super chats and giving out the gift memberships here. Love it. And Fletcher Boy, he's always around. Mod him up. Mod these people up. There you
go. There's a big difference between the orbital plane there, and
it's not a big difference. It's 1,200 nautical miles ish from the tropics.
So, do you agree that if the sun appears perfectly east and west on the equinoxes, okay, despite being above or below the orbital plane, okay, above
by 1,200 miles, yeah.
okay, despite being above or below the orbital plane, then the sun should appear to be perfectly east and west on the solstices as well. So as you claimed, this is the solstice, and so if this is a solstice, then the sun should rise perfectly east and west on the solstice.
No.
Okay, so you don't agree with that. Good to know.
I don't agree that the sun should rise perfectly east or west or anywhere near east or west. Right? I'm in Sydney. That's my east. That's my west. As the year moves on from the equinox a few months ago,
you got to say like Ruhif. At least he's smart enough to realise in Australia, the sun not only goes the wrong way in comparison to what the Gleason map suggests it should do, it also sets south of west, which would be impossible on any kind of flat Earth. Just saying.
My sunrise comes further around towards the south. I've probably got a slide somewhere that demonstrates that. Maybe. We'll find it later. Did I point out the slight error in that black diagram? I think I did.
I just think it's interesting because it doesn't matter, no matter my elevation from or kind of distance away from the orbital plane, okay, no matter the tilt of the Earth that I'm standing on, it doesn't matter what my tilt is to see the sun rise perfectly.
Who the hell is Kyle? The guy, the guy on the debate there. That is Kyle. Oh. Are you being a serious question, Bruce? I don't.
East and on the equinox. Okay.
If the sun was maybe 50,000 miles away, right, then maybe you'd see a slight difference. I don't like the use of the word perfect either. Nothing's ever perfect. Perfect in meat space, as MC Toon likes to say. But the amount, if you drew a right angle triangle with the opposite side as 1,200 nautical miles.
Is he a globe buster? Is he on globe? I thought that was Alan and it was the other fucking pair of blobs. Alan and I don't know.
And the adjacent is 150 million kilometers. I hate using fucking mixed units. That angle difference will be so tiny, several decimal places after the zero.
Okay.
Several zeros after this place.
So you're saying that for some reason it shouldn't be perfectly east and west over here because why? But it should be over here. Why is it different on the solstices than it is on the equinoxes?
I'll try and find
that's kind of the
meme. Hold on.
If people have any questions they want to ask, you can send in super chats, Rockfin, YouTube, and
why would it be different on the solstices than on the equinoxes?
I'll show you.
Something I've observed is that at certain times of the year, even though I am even though I am north of the tropics here in Utah, okay, my shadow will actually point south, like southwest.
Okay, can I share?
Certain times of the year.
Yeah, you're sharing.
No, Kylie's.
So here's my shadow, and you'll notice that
Shane.
It's southwest.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Jabba. Shane Jabba the Hutt. Let's get some Jabba in here now. That is Shane. Fletcher Boy, welcome to Team Whatcast. And Shane says thank you as well. That's what that was.
Yes, that's your summer, right?
This is in summer, yeah. And here I'm noticing the moon.
Man of Stone.
Okay, I'm noticing the moon out here in the west, but the light, if that's coming from reflected sunlight, as the globe model claims, okay, the light is appearing in the north.
Yeah, I think you're having trouble thinking in 3 dimensions.
Yes!
Can I share the?
You nailed
share the
it.
screen?
Good.
Cool.
And I saw some people in the chat questioning the timer. They asked me to kind of let the time go as long as they were not talking over each other. So that's why we're not really saying.
So this is my sunrise in the summertime. So in about another month or so, this is what it will look like. So the bottom half of the Earth is pointed towards the sun. So it's my summer. And you'll see that in Sydney, my north is over here, right? My east is up here, but I'm seeing the sun rising way south of east. Right? This is the solstice, December solstice for us.
Okay.
Cool.
Kyle completely flummoxed. Not a fucking clue. So, okay, yeah. Like Kyle like indoctrinates his own children apparently into this bollocks. I wonder if ever his kids are gonna go on YouTube and look at Dad's debates from before they can remember the drivel he used to teach them and watch this one and think, my dad's a fucking knob. He's getting utterly destroyed in this argument. I don't think the Earth is flat anymore.
So it should not set. It should not rise or set perfectly east or west at the solstices.
When you're doing this, how big is that sun supposed to appear?
Shut up, bitch!
Like the angular size of the sun. Normally, when I've seen it, it's really small. And now you've made it so it should be as big as the entire sky.
It's half a degree.
All of that is half a degree.
The angular size of the sun that I see is always half a degree.
Okay.
Or 0.53 or something, right?
And your
the
picture
sun
there
is
is showing the
physically
sun being like nearly the entire size of the sky.
If I zoom all the way that way, if I zoom all the way that way, the sun will be bigger on the screen. It will be bigger. Right? It will be bigger than the Earth by a lot. That's different to what the angular size is. It's always half a degree. Oh, yeah, thereabouts from
Struggling with angular size now, Kyle. This is probably not the topic for you, son.
Cool.
Okay. And
How dare you?
on the equinox, it doesn't matter your tilt and where the sun appears, it's supposed to be perpendicular up above your head, okay? And at noonday, but here that doesn't matter. What?
You said at noon it should be above your head. Where are you? What's
On
your
the
latitude?
equinox, the longest day of the year, we get 2 of those a year. At noonday, it should be directly above your head. And
Not for you.
We're here-
Where are you?
you're going to have directly above your head is going to be pointing in 2 different directions.
You're in Utah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, your latitude's like 45. What is it? 40?
Not
Yeah,
Probably
40.
40.
You'll
Off
never
the
get
top
the
of my
sun. Yeah, you're never going to get the sun directly overhead. Neither am I.
But if you're standing on the tropics, that's supposed to be what happens. And if you're on
So talk about that then, rather than where you are.
the equator, that should be what happens, even though they're at different angles from each other.
Yeah, on the tropics, you'll get the sun directly overhead on the solstices, and on the equinoxes, you get the sun directly overhead on the equator.
Even though they're completely facing in different directions.
I'm thinking that you have a lot of trouble visualizing things in 3D. Perhaps we should get you a simulator, like a stellarium or something.
Yeah. Get him some of that stellarium.
Well,
Bouncy
probably a
balls,
better
mate.
question
Bouncy balls, mate.
is it more likely that you're not thinking correctly about the three-dimensional aspects of this thing,
Is he a Mormon?
or you've found something that literally
See, it's great minds.
everyone else has missed? That's probably a good question, I think.
Things happen. And if you can show me I'm wrong on this, then I'll happily change my mind. But unless you can do that.
He is. If you 74 people currently in, if you still haven't liked, thumbs up, please do so. Much appreciated. It's free and it takes a second.
There's no conflict resolution.
Right. I would say get something like Stellarium, play with it, see how well it matches your reality, like your observations outside. I've found that it matches near perfectly, and it is a heliocentric globe model. It works.
Okay, so we have no conflict resolution here. You're just saying it doesn't work.
I can resolve
That's
it.
it. Hand wave dismissal. And
I can resolve it in the
Hand wave dismissal, he thinks that was. With the big fake grin.
you're wrong and I'm right. That's the way to resolve it.
that doesn't resolve a conflict.
Kyle, Would you let that man babysit? Just the question there.
I've got to change my mind. I've got to change your mind.
Yeah, get
It's gotta be
Solarium.
one way or the other. Otherwise, there's no resolution.
Yeah, get Solarium. Give it any observation, like your observation of the moon, right? Put that date and time in, get your location in there, and see where the sun is.
I've got to say, it doesn't seem like old Perfume Man's going to turn up, does it? Like, here we are, an hour and 20 minutes into the stream. He's got 40 minutes to get here. Someone hit him up.
It's where the moon is.
Perfume Man, where are you?
Yeah, it works.
I should see the sun in the north.
Whatever date or wherever Stellarium says the sun should be, I guarantee you that's where it is.
And if that doesn't line up with what I showed,
Yeah,
and
then
my
show that.
observation, is my observation wrong?
No, show that. Show that. If you can show that your observation does not match Stellarium, that would be great.
Okay, so
Mute, you stupid bastard.
Yeah.
if Stellarium shows that the sun should be in the east, okay, or in the west, and
Wherever
that's
it says,
what the globe says, right? It's always in the east or always in the west. The sun should never be 90 degrees above my head in the north. That's
It has never
typical
been
model.
above your head in Utah.
Huh?
It has never been above your head in Utah. You're at 40
Yeah.
degrees latitude.
Yeah, that's fine. But my observation showed that
That's fine. Well, stop arguing it then if it's fine.
You unbelievable clown.
Arnold, have you seen? It was you that sent me that clip, wasn't it? The lips one. $5 from Arnold. My 11-year-old just said all flat earthers do is give people misinformation. Well, that's fucking obvious, isn't it? Even an 11-year-old can see it. Where's the lips thing? Right there.
It doesn't have lips.
Is that you, Arnold? If anyone's got funny Oakley sound bites, send them to me on Discord or email them to me, whatevs. Doesn't matter. I'll use them. Always looking for new ones.
the sun would be in the north.
Plug
If
it
that
in.
is the sun reflecting off the moon.
Yeah, plug it in to Stellarium.
Okay, so I'll have to do that later. I guess that's my thing. I think we've talked about this. I don't think you've got anything else to put on the table here. And so
Oh my God. I don't think you've got anything else to put on the table here other than the 75 things that blew me away that I didn't have answers for. I think you're done, Ruhif. You got nothing else. There's nothing else you can possibly put on the table. I've got you cooked. Flat Earth logic.
yeah, I think that was
What do we have left? I don't know if we got everything or I don't know.
I've only done one claim,
done
and I
one
think
claim.
Kyle's finished his question and claims. So we can make this an interrogation
Violated by gas.
session of me, if that's
Well, you can go with your
cool.
second claim if you want.
I've got
second
additional
claim.
questions and claims for you when you present yours.
Cool. All right.
I've actually
So
prepared a little bit more.
my claim number 2, I might share actually. Give me a sec.
We'll allow it.
All right. 1 second. Am I still sharing? No.
Not yet, no.
All right.
There you go.
All right. There we go. I was on Modern Day Debate last week with
Boo.
Brian Leakey, and someone, Plain Reality. And I started off my presentation with Flurfs wouldn't know curvature if it bit them on the dick. And I stand by that. Flurfs will always say, show us the curvature, blah, 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 it measures flat. So I've had this challenge open to Flurfs for, I don't know, 5-6 years, whatever. Set up a hypothetical. I'm on a flat Earth. An observer is at the top of a 5,000-foot mountain, pointing his theodolite to another 5,000-foot mountain that is 30 miles away. On a flat Earth and ignoring refraction for now, what is the predicted angle he will measure? Do you both, or do you agree, Kyle, that it's 0? You'd measure at 0 elevation.
Okay. That was your question? You're asking me your question now?
You can.
What? Yes, that was a question. Why do they think that? Mind you, that probably does fool the flat earthers in the audience there. Oh yeah, no, he's going to answer that, but he doesn't realise it's a question. He said he just asked him, does it? That's a question. On a flat earth, that would exactly be what it is, right? The fact that he's squinting, pretending to be confused is very telling because he knows he's about to get debunked and that definitely isn't the angle. Let's watch on and see.
You can nod along. You can nod along if you want.
Okay. So
Yeah.
ask again.
So what if I'm at 5,000 feet on a flat Earth, looking across to another mountain
Sounds like cognitive dissonance to me, mate. What?
at 5,000 feet, 30 miles away? The angle I should measure, if I ignore refraction, should be 0, right? Pretty simple.
If you ignore refraction and diffraction and the atmosphere itself, yeah.
Yes.
If there is no atmosphere on the Earth, sure.
Cool.
It should
Okay.
be 0. Yeah.
All right. So if we are on a globe, you've heard that the 8 inches per mile squared of drop. Again, ignoring refraction for now. Then that mountain should have dropped in our view by 600 feet. Like my 5,000 foot horizontal level should have dropped by 600 feet because it's 30 miles squared times 8 inches, 600 feet. So again, ignoring refraction, we should expect to measure an angle equal to that. Works out to 0.217 degrees down. All right. But we do have an atmosphere, as you so rightly point out, Kyle. And the empirically measured, I want to stress that, the empirically measured refractive...
I'm loving that people are getting to understand and know my sound clips. We've got to put Kyle on the list. Kyle!
You just made the list!
And for special people, this is what we do. All right. When somebody makes the list, which is not a good thing, right? When someone makes the list...
You just made the list!
We then think, is this person a more deserving? Do they need to be higher up on the list?
You just made the list again!
They make the list twice. And then just so we can make them make the list 3 times...
You just unmade the list!
Take them off of the list. And then...
You just made the list!
Put them back on the list. And then...
You just made the list again!
They go back on it again.
Gradient in the atmosphere, it bends light downwards. So it's more dense below than it is higher up. And that curves the light downwards and lifts the apparent position of objects. And the amount of lift is around 1/7 that of the effective Earth curvature. That's why we use the 7/6R. So instead of 600 feet of drop, we should expect to measure around 500 feet of drop. So the angle, using basic trigonometry again, if we assume we're on a globe, we should expect to measure 0.186 down in this hypothetical. All right, I've done stacks of these measurements here and in California. And the key to getting good predictions is to do the measurements well above the surface where the gradient is quite stable and predictable. And the measurements that I took match the globe prediction and nowhere near the flat Earth prediction.
As usual. Let's see what Kyle says to this.
What flat Earth prediction?
Oh, God. Now, Kyle's now going to do that. We don't predict anything. What a position to take. Flat Earth takes the position of we don't predict anything, we don't think anything, we don't know anything, because if we make one claim whatsoever, everybody will debunk it immediately and we'll look like dicks. Therefore, we'll just laugh and say, ha, spinning space ball. Okay, what is it then? Don't know.
Exactly. Do you guys have any predictions?
I do.
Okay.
No, you can fuck off.
That was my second question, wasn't it? What was the predicted angle? Well, I can ask the question now because that's one of my...
your statement assumes that kind of presented, it doesn't match the flat Earth predictions, and then you have no flat Earth predictions you're going off of here.
Okay. So
Kyle.
You just made the list again!
Question 2, which I probably should have done before this, was measuring drop. You're on top of a mountain, which has an elevation of 5,000 feet. You're looking across a valley to another mountain 30 miles away, which also has an elevation of 5,000 feet. If the Earth is a globe and drops away at 8 inches per mile squared, what would you predict that angle to be? You can make any assumptions you need to make that prediction, as long as they are stated. Show your work.
Okay.
What's your angle?
You just barely provided your own prediction on that. Is that correct?
As in what my flat Earth prediction is?
No, your globe Earth prediction, because your question here is assuming a globe. And so you just barely provided your whole globe Earth prediction.
Right. So there's the globe Earth prediction, right? And you said I don't have a flat Earth prediction. Do you have a flat Earth prediction?
Okay. So you're kind of gotten a lot of questions going on.
One question. One question asked multiple times. There's just too many questions going on. Oh, let me address one at a time. No, that was one question. What do you predict? So for that, Kyle.
You just made the list again!
Jumbled around. I kind of want to handle this systematically and make sure each of your questions gets addressed properly. So if you're ready for the question that you asked me, then I'm ready to answer it. Okay, cool. Because I don't want to get all of this jumbled up.
It's the same question. make predictions for both flat Earth and globe.
Okay, so I can share screen because you wanted me to show my work.
Yep.
Ooh, he's done work.
Okay,
you're good.
You're asking if the globe drops 8 inches per mile, how much does it drop? I'm going to say 8 inches per mile. Okay, we can go and do some additional math in here. which says it's approximately like a 0.22 degrees.
Sorry,
angle.
did you ask ChatGPT for this?
Yes.
I went through that because it's really good at making graphs and crunching numbers.
Oh, that's a yes. He did. Oh, he used ChatGPT for his evidence. Kyle!
You just made the list again!
It has, this one is a calculator. It's DPI, and it actually works with math. And this one is actually from Rob Skiba's Testing the Globe, and he went and did the numbers on that. And yeah, it's kind of what you said there with the globe. Okay, the globe has about 600 feet of drop, and that kind of all seems to line up with the 0.22 degrees angle drop, if that's what you're asking. I'm not sure if you're asking angle drop or some other kind of drop.
No, angle drop, but also, do you want to include refraction or not?
Okay, well, you just asked me how much drop does it have, and so I can only assume you were talking about geometrically. Without, yeah. We're talking
By the way, those that are here have got 30 minutes left on the stream. Thanks to the super chat being reached. Another goal going now, though, for Christmas tips. However, for those of you that wasn't here at the beginning of the stream, I played the song roasting most of the flat earthers that I could think of. Playing it again at the end of the stream. Please hang around for that.
about, for you, you're talking about the geometric horizon, not the apparent horizon.
No, I'm talking about what angle will we measure in reality. So take into account whatever your reality is. Mine includes refraction.
Now we're kind of getting into one of your
Just
other questions.
random.
And I've gotten a separate response for that one when you're
No, it's the same question.
China?
ready to ask that question. And I feel like you're kind of going all over the place here when it comes to
What's the
your
other one?
questions now.
Sorry, what's the other question? This is
He hasn't gone all over the place once. What the fuck are you talking about, Kyle?
You just made the list again!
just measuring drop. There's only one measuring drop question.
Okay, there's one measuring drop question, yeah.
Yeah.
And so you had question 3, and I've got your other questions here too, and your other claims.
Yeah. Question 3 is bottom-up obstruction. So
Which is kind of, I feel like the same kind of a question, but
not really.
I don't want to get things out of order. So it's all about systematization here.
Okay. Do you have a flat Earth prediction for what that angle should be?
Okay. You asked for a globe prediction. Okay.
Yep.
And so now you're asking a separate question.
Yeah.
So
It's on the fly. My apologies. It's on the fly. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say I don't have time to do it, and that's fine. I'm not gonna.
So let's
Thank
just
you for
focus
that.
on what you got, and then we can address.
Jane, is it? I'll work on that. I'll definitely I'll definitely dream up a Christmas flat Earth song.
Additional things after that, because I kind of
Put it this way, I'll have some ideas and let fucking what's it called? Suno? What's it called that I use? Suno. Let Suno do the rest.
I've got things all organized in my responses here.
Cool.
So
All right.
when it
So
comes to
you're-
how
They all do that. JD, if you ever go on TikTok, you'll see everybody doing that.
much of a drop you should see on a flat Earth, that's a part of a different question you asked that I've already kind of got a response prepared on that one.
The drop on a flat Earth? What
How
angle
much
on it?
apparent drop should you see on a flat Earth? That's a completely
You have an
different
answer?
question. So I've got answers to that, but let's get to that
Oh.
first.
That's Suno, yeah, ain't Sora. Sora's the videos, isn't it? Yeah, 93 people watching now. Woohoo! Can we get over 100 at some point? We will if everybody watching now hits the thumbs up like button. We'll definitely get over 100 in here at some point. Please do that now if you can. It's 3 seconds. Do it.
No, I give that. We're on measuring drop, right? So if you want to give a prediction for what the angle should be on a flat Earth, that'd be fantastic.
Okay, so
The 12 fluffs of Christmas. Thing is, Suno won't let me do that because it'll be using a song that already exists. But I could definitely write one. Yeah, that's a great idea.
I think that was part of your question 3. If you're asking
No.
question 3 now,
No, question 3 is bottom-up obstruction.
yeah, which is part of it's part of that.
No, question. We're talking about measuring drop as in 8 inches per mile squared or not 8 inches per mile squared. Different. It's different to bottom-up obstruction. Yeah. So if you have an answer for what
No, do not unlike. CJ, come on.
that angle should be on a flat Earth, I would love to hear it. If not today, then another day.
We can wait till that question. If he's thinking that he has the answer for that coming up, then that's fine.
Oh yeah, I didn't explicitly ask for a flat Earth. Anyway, but I guess the point of that question is if I go out into reality and my measurement matches my globe prediction, what would
I agree, Wicked.
be your conclusion from that?
What would be my conclusion of
Put 1 in the chat if you think that Kyle needs to go on the list again.
that? Matching that. So I've got a big long explanation here that kind of goes into one of your other claims here. So let's kind of get through that and then we'll come back. If you can write that question down, please do, because I think by the end of this, that should be answered.
Cool. All right. Do we want to go to my next claim, or what do you want to do, Jaron?
Yeah. If
I'll go to my claim.
okay, go ahead.
So the claim number 3 and question number 3 are about Canagoo. All right. So in my humble opinion, long distance photographs are excellent globe evidence. For this, I'll be using a photo of Canagoo from Logos Noof. I'll be showing that the vast majority of Canagoo is blocked by the horizon.
Still City, you're such a rebel. Everyone's doing the one, Still City. The 2, there was no 2 option. What is the 2 option? To take him off of the list and then put him back on the list. 1, 2, get him back off. Right, okay, we got it. So Kyle, you look quite a decent guy there in that picture. So I'm going to take you off of the list.
You just unmade the list.
Let's play on for a bit. I'm sure we'll be back on it in a sec.
Consistent with the Earth being a globe, and I'll also apply the laws of perspective and angular size to further support the amount of Canagoo that is blocked by the horizon. Let me bring up that picture. Am I sharing that? 1 sec.
Go ahead.
Hang on. Share. There we go. All right.
Good.
Cool. So I've got all the details of the observation. So it's that
They use
Alain,
this as one of
Alain
the...
guy in France.
You know, the funniest thing about this Mount Canagoo thing that they always use is that they, when Whitsitt and that always bring it up, they say, oh, look, you can see because the sun's setting behind the mountain, so therefore it projects the mountain. You should never be able to see that because of how far it is away, and all this other bollocks, whilst showing a sunset, which could never happen on the flat Earth. That's what always amuses me by that.
Here is the observer location and his elevation. Target's Canagoo, 2785 meters, and it's 265.15 kilometers. There's a really cool website called Udeuschler, where you can get a 3D render of what it should look like under certain conditions. You can get it to make a prediction for what it should look like on a globe with standard refraction, and you've got the tippy tops, maybe the top 10% or so, 300 meters or so of the mountain range visible. You can ask it for a flat Earth prediction, and you can just see how much, like how big this mountain range is when you ask it for and get an idea of how much is hidden by the horizon. They got the 2 predictions. 2 predictions on the left on this slide, and then the actual photo. And the way you can tell, well, first of all, the mountains line up pretty well. There's a bit of an inferior mirage in that one, but you can see that it's a pretty good match. And we have the angular width of the sun.
I'm saying let Carl speak, because the minute he starts speaking, he's going back on the list.
To make sure that we're not sort of pretending that it's bigger than it is.
In fact, I'm so impatient for Kyle to speak so I can put him back on the list. I'm going to speed up Kyle's speech, because Kyle, I'm not comfortable with him not being on the list.
So this width is half a degree, and these little green ticks at the top, the green ticks at the top are 0.1 of a degree. So you can see that's about half a degree across. It matches the globe prediction. And on the right-hand side, you can see there is an absolute shitload of the mountain blocked by the horizon, about 2,500 meters
Tons.
or so. What do I do here? Yeah, so there's the flat Earth prediction. You can see what should be visible on a flat Earth is all of that, and what is actually visible. And this is, I had Man of Stone tell me the other day that this is not the ocean. I don't know what to say to that, but I picked this particular photo because it has a boat in it. It's obviously the ocean. So that's kind of good. I think that was my claim. Yep, that's kind of good. Do you want to ask the question, or do you want to respond to the claim?
Okay, so your claim...
That's enough.
You just made the list.
Kyle!
You just made the list.
Kyle!
You just made the list.
Kyle!
You just made the list again.
Can you say that again in a non-convoluted way?
Long distance photos are excellent evidence for globe Earth. The predictions of a globe match reality quite well.
I ain't taking him off anymore.
And you don't think long distance photos...
Heart rate went up then.
No, you got 2.5 kilometers of a mountain blocked by water.
Okay, so you don't think the flat Earth acknowledges any kind of objects appearing to sink on the horizon?
If you, my question, I'll ask my question. All right, so you are standing on a hill. I'm basically giving you the coordinates. You're standing on a hill north of Aloche in France at 333 meters, looking at Canagoo, 265 kilometers away. Assuming a flat Earth, how many meters or feet of Canagoo do you predict is blocked by the horizon? And please show your work.
Okay, so now you're jumping over to your questions now.
Oh, you're jumping all over the place. Oh, you're jumping. Can't resist. I can't resist it.
You just made the list again.
Kyle!
So first of all, I'm going to say my flat Earth model here acknowledges that objects can appear to sink on the horizon, and you appear to be saying that that doesn't happen.
How does it happen on a flat Earth? How do you get 2.5 kilometers missing?
Okay, my flat Earth model acknowledges that objects like the sun can appear to sink on the horizon. Okay,
show it.
I just want to get that through to you. Okay, and I wanted
Big fake smile deserves.
You just made the list again!
to know if you acknowledge that my model points out that objects like the sun can appear to sink on the horizon.
I acknowledge your assertion. Please show how it works.
Okay, so I got quite a bit into that. So I'm going to jump over to your question. This is question 2, right?
Question 3. So
Going to ignore what you just said and answer a question you haven't asked.
you're standing on a hill. Yeah, bottom of obstruction. So do you want me to stop sharing?
Please.
Okay, so question 3. Okay.
Are you
Do
going to
you
share?
agree that the amount of atmospheric opacity affects how far the apparent horizon is?
Oh, so it's just not going to answer the question.
Gas go down, go boom, boom, my friend.
Only on like foggy or really thick rubbish days.
Okay, so we can agree that the apparent horizon appears to rise and fall depending on what the atmosphere looks like. That's something that's common ground between us. Yes.
Not-
At this point, Jaron's thinking, this guy's on my side. This is fucking humiliating.
Not really. Once you
I bet Jaron's chat in this was attacking Kyle.
get a decent height above the surface, the horizon hardly moves at all.
That's not been what I've seen at all.
I'll show you my measurements then. 1 sec.
Okay, so with that being the case, I predict that the weather will be really foggy out on this day, and put
Then don't go out.
apparent horizon 5 feet in front of the viewer. Okay, so
That's not a
everything around 5
horizon,
feet
Kyle.
will be covered by.
It's not a horizon.
That's my prediction. You asked me what my prediction was. Okay. You said,
Having a
"Assuming
foggy
the flat Earth,
day.
how many meters or feet of Canada do you predict will be blocked by the horizon? Okay. Although I will say that the horizon, it is defined as the apparent boundary line between the Earth and sky. So is that really the horizon that's blocking anything? Because the horizon, it can't really hide anything at all. Okay, it's just a line, the boundary line between the Earth and sky. It doesn't hide anything unless we're talking about diffraction and angular resolution. And we just had a great episode of Globebusters Tech where Zach went and described the angular resolution limits, how far we
You know the drill. One in the chat if this prick needs to go on the list again.
can see, and how diffraction can cause this bottom-up kind of obstruction. It's kind of like two lights of a car when
And I'm not
when they're close up, those
I'm not taking him off to put him on again.
two lights are kind of far apart, but the farther and farther away that gets, those lights end up merging together. And so that would be kind of the horizon line hiding things, depending on how you want to define horizon.
Is that water? Is that water blocking the mountain?
Well, that's not the horizon blocking the mountain, and it's not
Is
water.
is water? Are you saying that's not water? That's a fucking ship, Kyle. That thing there's a ship
Don't get all upset with me. Okay, I don't claim that's water that's blocking the horizon there. I don't believe
blocking the mountain.
That's not the water that's blocking the sun from your view. Okay, that's not on my model. Okay, that's not how my model explains things.
Okay, is that water? That's water, right?
That's water.
Okay, is it blocking this part of the mountain?
The water is not blocking that kind of part of the mountain. That's no.
It's shit. Okay.
Okay, you're looking at the water there, but that's not the
Right.
water that's blocking the mountain. Okay, there's atmospheric effects.
Unanimous. No messing around this time. Kyle!
You just made the list again!
They can block things. Okay, that's kind of.
That's water, Kyle. That's water. If the water wasn't there, would I see the rest of the mountain?
I've got in my model here the demonstrations that show you. Okay, so I've got multiple demonstrations that show you how objects can appear to sink on the horizon line out in the distance over flat surfaces. And so, Globebuster Zach over there, he's got his buckets out in the distance that appear to be merging with the ground, and they appear, to be getting hidden by the ground. But
Okay, how close to the ground is he? How close to the ground is that?
And I've demonstrated this with my fish tank laser experiment, where I took a boat and put it on one side of the tank, and then I shone a light through this salt water, and I got the light to bend downward. And as I did that, that boat appeared to be sinking on the other side of the tank. So
How close to the ground is Zach?
Huh?
How close to the ground is Zach? And how close to the ground are you in all these experiments?
Well, I've got videos of that. I just showed you my camera always stayed above the ground.
How
this
much
camera was on the ground. And so, I was also able to show
What do you think about this so far, Nathan?
It doesn't have lips.
Exactly.
how things appear differently when I kind of rise up in elevation. And we
For the fourth
explain
time,
how that's possible. How you're able to see
how high
higher
above the
elevations
ground
and
are you?
lower elevations. So that's something that's part of my model. And so, yeah, when you try to attack my model by explaining by strawmanning my model, it's not going to change my mind.
Okay, how high above the ground are all?
Oh, you have a model now, do you? Is it the Gleason's map, or is it that's not my map? It's not my model. And then it's like, okay, this said, well, you're strawmanning my model. What, the model that you don't have?
These demonstrations.
They're pretty low to the ground.
Okay, don't do that.
Don't do that. Why? Not think that refraction happens at high elevations?
When you get above the surface, like I mentioned previously, when you're above a decent height above the surface, the refractive gradient is really stable and predictable. When you're close to the surface, right, there's a lot of heat exchange going on with the air. And that can make refraction extreme in either direction. So you could get upwardly bending light, which will hide things in the vanishing zone, or you could get downwardly bending light, in which case you get things like the black swan.
Okay, again, strawmanning my model isn't going to convince me that my model's wrong.
You don't have a model.
I'm telling you what the empirically measured density gradient
on my
is,
model
Carl.
that refracts the light that passes through it.
I'm telling you what the empirically measured density gradient is.
Okay.
Not strawmanning shit, right?
The density gradient of the atmosphere, but not the firmament.
What?
Sorry, Stevie.
Okay. If I'm looking 200 kilometers across the Canigou, please explain how the firmament comes into that at all. That just sounds like pulled it completely out of your ass.
I was jumping over to the sun. I'm sorry.
Okay.
How the sun appears to sink on the horizon. Okay.
Sounds like cognitive dissonance to me, mate.
From has to do with that stuff. Okay. But okay, even on your model, the globe Earth model, have you ever seen the moon get refracted as seen from the ISS? Hopefully you agree that the ISS is higher than those mountains are.
Sure.
Okay, so you're saying there's next to no refraction.
Hopefully you'll agree that the ISS is higher than those mountains. Was that a serious question? For that question,
You just made the list again!
From way up there.
No.
Therefore,
From the ISS, there's no refraction. From the ISS, there's no refraction.
Mountains, there should be next to no refraction up there.
No. Hang on. Let me get it before you misquote me. ISS is in vacuum, no refraction. When you're above the surface by a lot, refraction is stable and predictable. Didn't say it's no refraction.
Okay, I'm talking about the ISS and how you can see the moon get refracted from that elevation. Significantly refracted. So it's like squished.
Is it looking through the atmosphere?
Yes.
Okay, well, there you go.
Okay, there's still atmosphere up there. You're still looking through the atmosphere.
No. There's no atmosphere up here. I said, are you viewing the moon through the Earth's atmosphere?
Oh, I'm sorry. I guess NASA never told you that they now claim that
No.
the Earth's
The
atmosphere
atmosphere
extends all
extends
the way
beyond
out
the
to
moon. Fuck me, Carl. Have you read that paper?
That the Earth's atmosphere extends all the way out to the moon. I did read the
Yes.
paper.
Okay. What was the density of
I bet you didn't read that paper.
the atmosphere past the moon?
I don't recall.
Okay.
Because you didn't read that paper. And if you pretend you read a paper and you didn't really read the paper, there's only one thing to do.
You just made the list again!
5/5 of fuck all, Carl. All right.
Okay, so let's calm down.
Yeah. I'm calm. Do I look?
Oh no,
Look
you're
up
swearing at me. That tells me that
Oh,
you're
okay.
emotionally unstable here. So
All right. I swear a bit. That's fine. Is anyone in the chat offended by me swearing?
Everybody.
Yes. Or should I say?
No, you can fuck off.
They all said
Okay. All right. You offended?
that. No, not me.
Oh, ask Ruith if he's ever faked his own birth.
What?
Okay.
again, just when it comes to my model, don't strawman it to try and fight my model. Okay, kind of.
Okay, so where are we at on claims? I've lost touch.
The claim, well, sorry, we're off, a bit off track. The claim was that the horizon moves around. As Jaron knows, actually, because I heckle Jaron all the time with
Constantly.
my observation of boats.
You disagree with that claim? That the horizon moves around?
When you get above the surface by a decent amount, it doesn't. Hardly moves at all. All right.
Arnold. $2, Arnold. Refraction cannot exist unless it has lips. But unfortunately for you, Arnold.
It doesn't have lips.
So there you go. You're wrong. Cheers for that. Love it.
When you're close to the surface, like Skunk Bay or whatever, yeah, it moves around heaps. Don't bother with observations so close to the surface. You can get, if you get upwardly bending light, right, that can block, you get inferior mirages, and inferior mirages can block things bottom up. So, what's the point of that observation? Or, in the other direction, if it bends a lot downwards, you get things like the black swan. So don't bother close to the surface.
The black swan is utterly pathetic as evidence, by the way. It's wobbling around everywhere. Kango never minces his words. I'm assuming he. Kyle, what a prick. Exactly. Agreed. And what do we do with pricks, everybody?
You just made the list again!
Cheers. Oh my God. Lips. While we're here, Kango again. Lips need a container. They do.
It doesn't have lips.
So it doesn't need a container. So in that case, because lips need a container and it doesn't have lips, Kango!
You just made the list!
Get on the list. Why not? Enjoy your time with Kyle.
Here, I'd like to share real quick.
Hang on. Can we first acknowledge that, April, May, June, July, August, October, horizon has hardly moved at all.
Okay, so this picture ends up kind of going into what you're talking about here. That's very relevant.
Okay, stop sharing for a second there.
Cool. That's it. Boom.
Okay, when you're ready.
Okay, so you've got this picture. You can see all this cloud, and the horizon appears really near, like close to the observer. And we acknowledge that the amount of atmospheric opacity, the atmosphere's lack of transparency, can end up adjusting where the horizon appears to be, how much drop it is. And so in this case, the atmosphere being really thick is causing the horizon to appear really low. Okay, the atmosphere, the thickness of the atmosphere is causing
That
it to
is
drop.
Rohit.
Now, if you're really at a high elevation Okay, there's still, you can still, when you look down, you can see the clouds. The clouds up here end up still being a factor. And sometimes you can get more clouds over here on your left than you do on your right. And so there ends up being kind of an apparent curve, but it's really just, I can see farther over here because the atmosphere is thinner over here than I do over here. And so that ends up kind of affecting the top of it. And so if I were to like flip this picture upside down where the water would end up being the sky, and you can kind of get this thing here. This horizon right here doesn't appear perfectly flat. Okay, that horizon hemisphere itself, it being thicker on one side than it is on the other nearby. And so that affects kind of the rise and drop of the atmosphere. Sorry, the rise and drop
my response.
where the apparent horizon appears to be.
My response is that's not the horizon. It's a foggy day. Like, why would you go out? Why not go out in a snowstorm and try to measure the horizon?
Okay, so
Like, this is stupid.
by definition, okay, you're just kind of no true Scotsmaning the
Oh
definition of
my
horizon.
God, Kyle.
boundary
Is
line
anyone
comes
else
from the
getting
sky.
pissed off? Kyle!
You just made the list again!
So this is the boundary line. This line right here, that's the boundary line. That is the apparent horizon right there.
I think that's a
line.
stupid definition.
I can't live with Kango on the list. Sorry, Kango's got to come off of the list. He's too supportive to be on the list. Kango!
You just unmade the list!
Okay, that's the dictionary definition. And
okay.
yeah, no true Scotsman. That's a
All right,
stupid
so
definition.
hang on.
Oh,
Can I read you
Scots-
the dictionary definition of Earth then? Let's read the dictionary definition of Earth.
Okay, what I'm going to call that irrelevant. There's
Okay.
multiple
So
definitions of
your definitions are just better than mine. Is that correct?
If, you're welcome to disagree with the definition. If you want to
Excellent,
pull up the
thank you.
definition of Earth, yeah, I'm welcome to disagree with the definition. That's totally okay.
Yeah. So it's not your dictionary definition doesn't just trump my definition of the horizon, right?
Okay, it kind of okay. So if you want to define the Earth
Okay, let me think of something to say immediately because I look like a dick.
as a spinning globe out in outer space, I can
You want to define the
agree with
horizon
that
as a foggy
definition,
bullshit
but that
day?
doesn't
Sure.
mean when I use a definition of Earth, I always have to, because there's multiple definitions, and I can pick from a different definition of Earth when I'm referring to the word Earth. Okay?
Yes.
And so here you're talking about the horizon.
Am I allowed to do that with the horizon?
Yep, just as long as you acknowledge or at least define what you're talking about. Because if you're using a different definition than the standard definition, then it's kind of on you if you want everyone to understand you to explain what you're meaning here.
Standard definition?
The standard definition, like the
Okay, the
colloquial-
standard definition of Earth is that it has a polar and equatorial radius.
Yeah,
We can play this game, or
Yeah,
we can
it's
just
just
say we
playing
have
games, right?
different definitions.
I can acknowledge that we have different definitions. So,
Cool.
Okay, does anybody have any claims or questions left?
I think I've got another claim left. I think. Where are we?
Kyle, do you have any?
I've got my claims, and I've got some other things on here that are kind of in response to his.
Yeah, I don't see the point of making an observation when it's a foggy day. You cannot see the horizon. That's silly.
Okay,
All right,
well, I
claim-
gave you the definition. That was my response. So,
Okay. Earth is defined as a globe. So done. Claim number
Okay.
4. Flight routes are excellent globe evidence. For this, I'll be showing
Great
flights south of
point,
the equator tend to
great
follow the
point.
Great Circle routes in both directions. And I'll contrast this by showing routes on the AE map.
99, one away from 100. We've not even reached 100 yet. 100, one more person comes in. If we get a few likes, we'll get it over the 100.
I did provide this to Kyle about 4 days ago, I
They'll go straight down to 92.
think. And I said, if you have a different map that
Those 7 people that just left.
You just made the list!
you'd like me to use, please provide it. He didn't, so yeah, we'll just go with the AE map. All right, let me share. All right, so the flight we're going to look at is Santiago to Sydney. And obviously on a globe, this route gets relatively close to Antarctica, so it flies mostly southwest from Santiago, hits roughly 55 degrees south latitude, and then heads northwest into Sydney. The travel times and the calculated distances are consistent with the globe, and it cannot work on the AE map. All right, so I've grabbed the last 3 flights, from Santiago to Sydney. They've been about 14.
Do you remember when flat earthers used to say these flights didn't exist? Kango! What is the list? If it's for fucking wank juice. If it's for fucking wank juice guzzling bellends, I should be on it. Do you want to be on it? I'll take you off of it. But you want to go on it. Because that is who it's for. So if you want to go on it, I'll put you back on it. Let me know. Right, you're off it for now. Does anyone else want to go on the list? Because that is the criteria. What Kango just said there. Right.
Hours each. So it starts from Santiago, heads southwest. That's about 60 degrees south, and then up to the south of New Zealand and into Sydney. And then I grabbed the green lines are the KML plotted paths that they actually flew, and the red line is the Great Circle route, so the theoretically shortest route on a globe. So that's what it looks like. Here is what it looks like with a wind map overlaid, and that's from the 12th of November, and they're pretty much similar on the 13th and the 10th. You can see that they're in a headwind.
Kyle's looking excited here. It's like he might bash one out in a minute. I know what he's thinking because I've seen this before from Flat Earthers. They're going to bring up the Flat Earth wind map in a minute. and think it's a winner. Let's see how he does.
They're going into a headwind, so they're traveling from right to left. The wind is going left to right, and it gets there in 14 hours. The eastbound leg takes about 12 hours, 11 and a half, 12 hours, because of the wind difference.
JD, that's because they're cunts.
Some people will dispute that it travels so close to Antarctica. I have a friend who is actually cabin crew on Qantas, and she flies this route quite a lot. And on the 17th of August, she posted some pictures of the pack ice north of Antarctica, a picture of the route that it's actually taking for that day, and a couple of videos and stuff. Pretty cool. So they do follow that route. The routes on Flight Radar 24 and what's the other one? FlightAware are the actual routes that they take, and they do go relatively close to Antarctica. So then I've mapped the shortest possible path on the
Strawman my map, Strawman my model.
A map from Santiago to Sydney. That route would take them over, what's that, Colombia, Ecuador, something like that, over the continental United States. In fact, right over Utah. Is that Utah right there? Right over Utah, all the way, way north of Hawaii, and over Brisbane in Queensland, down southwest to Sydney. That's the shortest route on the AE map. They don't fly anywhere near that route. They fly this route. All right. And assuming there's 60 nautical miles per degree of latitude, I've done some calculations for these distances. This shortest route is 16,000 miles, and this actual route that they take is about 24,500 miles. No plane in existence has that range. So the question for Kyle is, how do you proposing flying that 24,500 miles in just 14 hours? That's an average of 1,750 miles per hour into the wind. Or does a globe distance of 7,000 miles in 14 hours, so 504 miles per hour, make more sense? End of claim.
Okay. Do you agree that planes take advantage of jet streams in order to fly faster?
Kyle!
You just made the list again!
And more efficiently. Yes. Okay. So you showed the winds on the globe map, and I actually have the winds on Flat Earth map. So I'll go ahead and share screen if I can.
Go ahead.
You do realize they're the same data, right?
Yeah, it's same data. Yeah.
Okay,
but
so
it just makes a lot more sense when you look at it.
Sharing. So I think
oh, sorry. Whoops.
Okay, it just makes a lot more sense when you look at it this way. So you've got these major jet streams kind of going all over the south.
Yeah. Which way are we flying?
It will never answer any questions.
It's kind of like having a mountain in front of you. It might be the shortest distance to just climb up and over.
He's done exactly what I knew he would do. Fuck me, I've seen this so many times.
Over the mountain, but that doesn't mean it takes the same. It sometimes going straight up and over the mountain, traveling the shortest distance can take.
Can I interrupt just a little bit?
Than going around the mountain on the freeway.
Right.
So
there's a reason why I picked Santiago to Sydney and not Sydney to Santiago.
Okay, so I'm just letting you know that there are jet streams that affect how
good point
planes fly, the routes that they choose to take, and there are jet streams that go in both directions. So this one primarily shows you like one direction over the other, but they do go both ways depending on kind of your elevation.
No, they don't.
Huh?
No, they don't. I know the source data. This is NOAA source data, right? On the you're on Earth.null school or Bobwin's, whatever, right? The data that the source of the data is NOAA, right? This website Bobwin's only shows you the 250 hectopascals, right? You can get all the data every 50 hectopascals. So 50, 100, 150, 250, 300 hectopascals.
You're saying it only shows 250, even though I can show you right here 1,700, 570, and 10?
Right. Planes don't fly at 500 hectopascals. That's like 15,000 feet or something.
Okay. So, I'm kind of wondering, one, what makes you think that? And two, okay, there's a lot of...
What makes you think that? What the fuck? I love the way he says a point and then quickly rushes through, but it didn't even... usually that's enough to fool flat earthers, but it didn't on this occasion, because if you actually go to this video on Jaren's channel, scroll back, I don't know when it was, a year or so ago, and you see the comment section of this, all the flat earthers are absolutely fucking against him, calling him a prick, basically. Hackroman... Australian $2. You called Matt. LOL wind maps. Exactly. They all think you come across these flat earthers and they all think they've got these gotchas, but they absolutely have no fucking clue. Oh my god. Right. Okay. Hang on. Let's play on.
It comes down to here that kind of, if planes can take advantage of the jet streams, that's going to directly influence where they choose to fly and how fast they end up flying. So it's kind of what I explained to you before about the chip log on water. You can be, getting a lot of RPMs, but you can be going either a lot faster than your RPMs are showing, or or you can go a lot slower than your RPMs are showing. But you don't measure speed using like your you don't measure miles per hour with your RPMs. You just don't.
Well, like I said a minute ago, there's a reason I picked Santiago to Sydney and not Sydney to Santiago. Okay, you're flying into the wind from Santiago to Sydney, yet on the AE map it was like 22,000 miles. So you would have to average 1,750 miles per hour into the wind.
Okay, so
Santiago is roughly where the go back, roughly where the really high winds are.
Okay, kind of.
There we go.
This. Okay.
Yeah, Santiago's where the pink purple stuff is.
Sydney's over here. Santiago's down here. I can move this out of the way. Okay. And there are additional winds that kind of go the other direction depending on where you're at.
Again, do planes fly? Does that route go anywhere near 30 degrees north south latitude?
Okay. Do those go anywhere near?
Okay. Click on where you think the winds are. There'll do, right? Do you think the winds will help you in that spot? Click on it. 31 degrees south, 6 degrees south.
I bet he doesn't.
Are you going to see ice sheets outside the window at 6 degrees south?
Oh, you can go further south than that. Yeah.
Okay, so we're not in those winds. Go down to like 60 degrees south.
Okay. Going way down here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Where the plane actually flies. Yep.
Yep.
Which direction are those winds going?
Well, these winds are going the opposite direction, yeah.
Right. How are you going 1,750 miles per hour into the wind?
Okay. How are you going Okay. I'm not saying that it's these exact same winds. They can. Okay. Planes can travel at different speeds. Okay. Depending on
what. Can they go 1,750 miles an hour?
Huh?
Can they go 1,750 miles an hour?
They can.
For you, those of you out there that have never seen my conversation with Flat Earth Dave Weiss from a few years back, before I knew anything about this topic, we had a conversation about southern flights, and Flat Earth Dave pretended that the winds are what took the planes and made them do 1,000 mile an hour. And he also said that the reason they were able to do 1,000 mile an hour is because they had 7 layers of military paint on the planes. That's what he said. I laughed at him even then.
Oh, shit. Okay. Do you have any info whatsoever for this?
In fact, Dave Weiss!
You just made the list!
Dave Weiss!
You just made the list again!
Do you not believe that about the ISS? How fast do you think the ISS is
talking about commercial fucking planes, Kyle. Come on.
All right, let's.
Oh, incentive advice has turned up right at the end of the stream. That was very brave of you. Okay, well, I'm going to be live again on Sunday. Incentive advice. Please join the live and prove that nobody knows anything about the topic.
So,
do you have any more?
How fast do you think the ISS is going exactly?
Oh, Kyle, come on now. Come on, Chad.
Do we have any more
It's going
claims?
pretty fast, according to you.
Right. It's not a commercial passenger jet, Kyle. I can't believe you said that.
Okay, so I'm just saying that planes can go pretty fast, and so
can they go 1,750?
Huh?
Can they go 1,750?
Yes, so do I, dick face. But I'm here now in the UK. Very brave, by the way. How's the perfume industry? Is it doing good?
Miles an hour.
This is just at that one elevation, but there are other elevations with counter winds that go the opposite direction.
No, they don't. I've got the data. You don't.
Huh?
I've got the data. You don't.
You're going to send that ticket over so I can come see you, so you can be all so manly to my face.
In fact, I put out a half-hour-long video about Southern Flights. Come on, Jaron, you got to watch it.
I'm watching it.
Showing the data at these different levels. I think it was 150 hectopascals, 200, 250, and 300. I think it doesn't change direction. It just doesn't.
You said there's somewhere we can go on NOAA that we can see by 50.
Yeah, I can get you the link.
Just tell me. I'd like to see that after. But let's see.
According to you, it doesn't change direction. And yeah,
Well,
and
what data are you using?
part of my whole thing is that.
Hang on. So you said according to me, you're showing the exact same data that I'm using.
Yeah, I don't care. Incentive advice, actually, why not just come up now? I've got 10 minutes. Come up now. And water doesn't bend at rest. Water's never at rest. It's constantly pulled down. I know you're entry-level flat Earth, even though you've been in it for 17 years.
Okay, so this whole data right here is showing the wind's going in one direction at one elevation. Okay, at one pressure. Okay, yep. But this doesn't. This is kind of a just one slice. Okay, and there's a lot of different elevations here. Right, and I'm telling you that there are other elevations that planes fly. You're saying they don't. Okay, that's
no. I have the data.
Planes don't always fly at the same elevation.
Right, I
have the data. Do you agree with that or not?
Of course they don't.
Do you agree that planes do not always fly at the same elevation?
Of course they don't.
So send the ticket, prick. Like, the Jews pay you. You lot are fucking mental. You're absolutely insane. People are paying you to do this, aren't they? Well, I'm a waste of money. I've got 90 people watching, you fucking knob. Send the ticket if you're going to, or stop talking bollocks, or go and steal some perfume and fuck off and stop wasting everybody's time.
Right, okay, that's why I got the 150.
They use different winds. They use different winds for flying at different elevations.
Right.
And, okay, I'm already under the impression that, yeah, that NASA lies to us. The government lies to us. And a lot of this information comes from the government. And so would it be too...
Incentive.
You just made the list!
You're quite happy using this data.
Well, Yes. Okay, they acknowledge some things. Okay, and I agree with Neil Tyson left and right on so many things, but I don't agree with him about everything.
Same.
Okay, so you don't agree with him about it? Great.
Oh,
So-
the Felix Baumgartner jump. Yeah, wrong about that.
okay, so it's cool that you're willing to take the courage to disagree with the mainstream on that. I applaud you on that.
I don't think it takes that much courage.
Do we have any more claims or comments from either one of you, or should we go to outros?
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a pussy, yet there you sit in my comment section, pretending you'd say anything to anybody's face. I've seen you on your things, on your videos. Don't try and pretend you're hard.
3 minutes. I'm going to check if there's any super chats. I haven't seen any come through, but there might be. But who wants to go first? Oh, well, Kyle, of course.
Yeah, whatever.
Go ahead, Kyle, when you want.
In fact,
No, you can fuck off.
3 minutes, and you can close us out.
Okay. There was a couple of other things that
I'm not a glober, I'm just a normal person. Yeah, so send the ticket. Stop pretending that you're going to send me a ticket so I can say it to your face, because I absolutely will. Send the ticket.
I wanted to bring up.
Could do with a nice holiday.
Okay. Okay. So I've got the CNN report that says that planes can fly faster than the speed of sound. Yeah, but if you already acknowledge that, then there's no point in bringing it up.
Yeah,
So,
not airspeed though.
okay, commercial planes. Commercial planes can fly faster than the speed of sound by using.
Yeah, not airspeed.
taking advantage
Not
of
airspeed.
streams. I told you to wait on.
So send the ticket. What is with the grandstanding? If we ever met, you said didn't you say in the conversation that you'll cover the cost? Cover the cost. You've never said, I couldn't give a fuck what you do with railings. I bet you've never had any kind of violence in your life, and you're just another dickhead that sells perfume. You haven't exactly got the manly profession to be on here giving it the online hard man.
Okay. Do you acknowledge that my flat Earth model acknowledges that objects can appear to sink on the horizon? What was your response on that?
Show me the geometry. Show me how.
I know you're triggered. You said to me, I said, pay for me. I'm not going to pay to come across the world to tell you you're a prick. And you said you'd cover the cost. That's what you said.
Works.
I said, do you
So cover the cost.
acknowledge that my flat Earth model acknowledges that objects can appear to sink on the horizon?
No. Show how it works.
Okay.
How-
I got a lot of videos that get into that, explaining how it works. And
Anyway, it's your
laser
outro.
experiment.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Of course you are.
It's your outro.
But I guess we can get into that in a different debate. But right now, you do not acknowledge that my model says that objects can appear
And you're thick as shit because you think the earth is flat.
to sink on the horizon. Okay.
You claim it. I'm sure that you claim it.
Okay.
Show how it works.
And so I'm writing a no on that one. All right. And so you were asking another question here with predictions of a flat Earth. And okay, you're asking about, well, what if I am able to.
It's because you're not a serious person. Like any normal, sane, serious person would actually send some money. If I give you my bank details, or you just transfer the money and then trust me to do it, or you think I'm stupid enough to give you all of my details so you can get me a ticket.
Projecting.
Or you could just be normal and have a conversation about it. Like somehow in person would be any fucking different. Whether it be on it or in person, I'd have the exact same shit to say to you.
Exactly what elevation that would be, or kind of the angle. If I were to show this.
Can go. Always with the comedy. Super chat, $5 New Zealand dollars. I'm gonna fucking do you. Oh, try this CK1 tester. It smells lovely. Exactly. Oh dear. It's funny, that incentive. I thought you wanted to do it on your channel. Have you changed your mind? Because you know that an online meeting, an offline meeting will never actually happen. So you can just pretend that that's what you really want to do, because you know your argument's going to fall flat the minute you start it.
If I were to predict that, I should see this much drop over this much distance. Okay. You're asking about that.
So the drop over distance, what should your conclusion be if your prediction matches reality? And also, what should your conclusion be?
I think it is a woman. It's a black belt, though, a blue belt, or second, or whatever the fuck he said. I don't know. Who cares? Vicious Cycle said if he's in the US, tell him to fly you to Houston. Is it Houston in Texas, isn't it? So we can get some good barbecue and then drive to New Orleans and grab some gumbo and whatever the fuck that says. Etouffee? Don't even know what that is. Let's do it. I'm in. Fly me into Texas. It's all on the millionaire incentive. You can always tell when people are full of honesty because they constantly tell you how rich they are. Yeah, but look at me. Just in random conversation that's got nothing to do with anything. I earn this much a year. I'm this belt and I'm this and I'm good at everything I do. Yeah, that's the beacon of honesty there. We all believe you, I'm sure.
If your prediction doesn't match reality at all.
Okay. Look at your guy here, Kyle, getting absolutely destroyed.
So the horizon appears to rise and fall depending on the weather. Okay, and so
you dumped. You realize that for a billionaire or whatever you claim you are, you can't spell a fucking word.
I hope we agree with that. Okay, if you want to claim that you have the observation of proof, okay, that your observation of I got the right answer. Okay, if you want to claim that's proof, you have to show that what makes your instance more valid than all of the others because horizon appears to rise and fall, right? And so it's.
Do you? That's cool. I'm really envious of your channel with all this stuff.
Kind of like you've got the right one. It's kind of like if you have a whole bunch of people in a room all claiming to be the same person, it's kind of on you to prove that those are the imposters and this is the real one. Okay, and so the horizon appears to rise and fall on the right.
Fletcher Boy says, is it just me or has Kyle not answered a single question? He hasn't. It isn't just you. I turned this off before. I was listening to this for about 20 minutes before, and I've turned it off and thought this would be good for the nominations for worst debate ever. So, yeah. Let's go over here.
I've got videos of Skunk Bay, which is a really good example of that, where the horizon, you can watch it go up and down, and you can even watch the horizon cause things to hide things and all of a sudden reveal things out in the distance. I don't know if you've heard of Skunk Bay. Have you heard of Skunk Bay before?
Incentive, nobody here is impressed with you. You sound really secure. Oh, I've got 200K. You fucking prick. Incentive!
You just made the list!
Incentive!
You just made the list again!
It's at 10 feet. 10 feet, 10 meters. Yeah.
The Skunk Bay...
the Skunk Bay camera is close to the water. Get away from the surface. Stop doing things so close to the surface.
Thanks for coming into my live, though, Incentive. Thanks for boosting my figures. And, yeah, maybe you might sell some perfume. 85 people in there. Nice.
It doesn't look super close to the water.
I think it's either 10 meters or 10 feet. Looked up one day.
I believe I have that time-lapse footage right here if you want to look at it.
I've seen it plenty of times.
Okay, so you've seen it plenty of times. It does not look close to the surface of the water. And you can watch the mountains in the background kind of rise and fall, right? So this is showing you that the horizon is not...
God damn it, you would never step to me. Well, you'll never know, will you? Because you're too much of a pussy to send the tickets.
Fixed. That things can... The atmosphere can change where the horizon appears to be. And so if you want to say, oh, well...
From what I've seen of you, a gust of wind would knock you down the street.
Matches my prediction now, and then all of a sudden 5 minutes later it no longer matches that prediction. Is that prediction still valid? Okay, is that proof that of anything? If you've got 5 other predictions that don't match 5 other observations that don't match your prediction. Okay, now you've got to be able to separate which one is incentive.
Whatever the fuck. You sound like the most insecure person. You sound like the most insecure person that's ever been in my chat. You're all less than me. I've made this much money. I'm a blue belt. Fuck me. Jesus Christ. Talk about trying to convince yourself of something. Nobody else gives a fuck.
True, and which one is false? Does that make sense?
Yes. As I've said probably 5 times now, when you are close to the surface, like Skunk Bay, Black Swan, all these observations of lasers going over lakes.
Skunk Bay has no laser.
I know, but...
You're beneath me. Yeah. Unless there's a slight gust of wind and then insensitive advice blows down the street with his weight of 80 pounds flying down the road, tumbling like a fucking tumbleweed because of a slight gust has broke up, telling the wind, I'm a blue belt, leave me alone, you're beneath me.
In addition to Skunk Bay, lasers going over lakes, mirror flashes, whatever. If you are close to the surface, the dynamics between the surface, be it water or land, and the atmosphere above it is quite unpredictable, turbulent, whatever you want to call it.
No, you can fuck off.
And that affects the density gradient, right? To get a stable, predictable density gradient, refractive gradient, get well above the surface. There's a reason why my my questions were...
I mean, you've got to give incentive advice some credit. I mean, he had the balls to come to the chat. He didn't have the balls to join the chat. He didn't have the balls to have a conversation. But he had the balls to at least come here and pretend that he had the balls, which is more than most of them do. So
5,000 feet looking across to another mountain at 5,000 feet.
So let's let Kyle finish because you've said this 15 times already.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Just saying, we don't need to hear anymore. Kyle, do you have anything you want to finish with the outro? I'll give you time to finish your outro.
Yeah, sorry.
China.
Uninterrupted.
So, if you want to prove it, you've got to be able to take more into account than I have. And
fragrant balls. Speaking of balls, I haven't played Oakley yet. Let's stick him on there.
But you enjoy the taste of my salty nuts as I teabag you.
claiming that this is the true prediction, okay, this is the proof, then all the other ones
Nah, you're a bitch.
that say, oh no, that's not proven. That makes sense?
Cool.
Okay, I think that's...
Will ya? He's going to run this chat. I guess he's not. Right, I'm going to shut down now anyway. So I just couldn't resist that. I'm going to... I can't even be bothered. Someone earlier on told me he was a knob. And I thought, yeah, but he might still be good for a debate. But he's one of them. No, I'm only going to do it in person, but I'm not going to send you anything. But I'm going to pretend that you're the one that's running. So I just couldn't resist that. I know he will because he won't know. That's why I always do that to people, because they carry on getting more and more angry and then until they realise no one can see them anymore. Right, okay, so he's clearly not ever going to come up for a conversation. If he does, then he can just make another account and be my bitch. But until then, I've enjoyed today's stream. I love it when it's just relaxed. Thanks, guys, for all the super chats. Cheers. I'll be back on Sunday with another one of these. Probably be doing the Mikey Smith one. If there's anyone's got better ones that they can recommend when someone does worse than Kyle there, which would be fucking tough to do because that was fucking terrible from Kyle. This right now, this is going to be incentive. That's what he's going to be doing right now. Wondering why can no one see me? I don't know why. Right, anyway, cheers everybody. I'm going to play you out now with that song that I put on at the beginning called Is the Earth Flat? See you later.
Well, Mikey Smith is gonna sue the CSA, but the angels of shite just getting in his way. While Double J says ascertain, I think the Witsit has gone missing again, and the earth is flat. And that's that. Old Dick Wayne, he knows where the top of the ball is, and he swears the blue, blue sky is his, while Chewie saves up to buy a ceiling. The angel of shite will kiss the ass of anyone who's willing, and the earth is flat. And that's that, yeah, the earth is flat. And that's that. And Twedzord is cry-wanking and crowdfunding for a new car. And Vicar is still a bitch, and you know they don't make them like they used to.